It blocked the last video. I did not delete. It is blocked. So the cool thing is it still exists, but I don't know. It just feels like a matter of time before we don't get to keep the things that we want to keep, I think. I don't know. I just want to come through and have a late dinner with you, because my goodness. It's just been so demonic, like the most. And so I'm over it. I really can't believe. Ooh, white supremacy is just like the cracker is not to be played with on MLK Day, bitch. Hey, true. On MLK Day. That is crazy. You saw Martin Luther King's daughter? She was like, bitch, water is wet. A pig's pussy pork. America killed my father. I'm not surprised. I'm just like, girl. Age of Aquarius is just in 6K. Listen, I'm glad that we're getting to kick it, because honestly, like, I've been wanting to kick it all day, but I was like, what the fuck am I coming here to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, it feels very dystopian in the moment. So I'm gonna show you my fucking onion, because he out here doing his thing. Look how strong this bitch getting. Bro. I'm hype as fuck. Fucking love onions. But yeah, I guess like I'm about to just become an onion farmer. Sell some onions on the gram. I don't know, bro. We just gonna have to turn into farmers or some shit, because it's gotta be barter-based society at this point. You feel me? Like, we just gotta stop fucking with money. We gotta make money not matter no more. On some in time Justin Timberlake, bitch. You're adorable. Listen, I'm in my micro farming era. I'm in my bitch is gonna need green onions. Not everybody can rely on a yellow onion, a red onion. But a green onion, bitch, they grow aquatically. We can always get water. Yeah, no, it's definitely, yeah, no, like I said, I wanted to go live, but I just been chain smoking and watching videos from like the last like between like the last like 11 and 9 years. Whoa. And just watching my old content, laughing, cringing so fucking hard, but also just remembering that like this, like, we've been talking about this shit for so long, you guys. Like, oh my God, like some of the conversations we've been having for a while. And it just feels like, I know we all saw the YouTube videos about Project 2025, but bitch, it's the way that I was just like, there's no way he's winning, babe. Like, and then like the whole, I don't know if anyone else has been just disassociating from Trump. And today, it just felt so real. Like, I've just been like blocking it out. I don't know why. I feel like the Disney kid in me is like, somebody gotta, them things outside. Them boys outside. Where are them boys and them things? Like, that's where I'm at. I'm just like, what? I'm like, there's no way. Where's Luigi? Like, release him. Like, he'll know what to do. Let me stop it. Low key, I feel like the Luigi shit got me screaming. Because it's like, white supremacy. Like, it's the way that white people do a crime that again, I feel like, I know we're Team Luigi, but I'm just saying, though, like, white people could, like, murk someone in broad day, bitch. Assassin style. And dip out and still get brought in alive. Again, say whatever you want to say about Luigi. I'm not against the boy. I don't care about him that deeply. But it's just like, it's the way that he is such a symbol of how it do not matter. Like, him and Trump actually are quite a parallel. But it don't even matter, bitch. And let me stop for somebody come and shoot my ass, bitch. Team Luigi. Bitch, honestly, listen, revolution pending survival, bitch. Do what you gotta do to survive during this time, bitch. If you feel like you gotta get quieter for safety, bitch, do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not about to shame nobody for being afraid of this shit, because it's like, we're all not bogged witches like me, living in the motherfucking in the digital urn, bitch. Like, I'm literally, bitch. I know I'm a real person in the real world, but what I'm trying to offer is like, I'm not living the same life as most people. So I'm just trying to offer, like, please do whatever feels safest for you, bitch. If you need to leave America, bitch, please go, run, fuck out of here. I feel like it's wild to me to see so many Black women realizing like this is above us, this is above us, and now just so many Black women being like, bitch, I'm leaving. And I'm like, please. But again, I'm not saying that anybody Black shouldn't leave, because here's my true thoughts. The cracker stole it. The cracker stole it. Ain't nobody about to motherfucking build on it, rebuild. Like, it's like, I just feel like I want everybody stolen to just give up the dream that this is going to be a place where some shit pops off. To be to be super honest with you, I'm not seeing it that way at this point. I used to think one day all the Black and brown people, we gonna come together, we go to Turtle Island, and I'm just like, nope. No. Bitch, why do I need to stand up though? Why are you worried about a bitch standing up? Look at y'all so worried about a fat bitch that you'll never meet. Imagine. I'm sure Call of Duty is calling you. God of War, whatever the fuck it is that y'all be playing these days. Go play your game. Go play your game. You're good. You don't see no value in listening to me. That's fine. Go play your game, babe. Y'all good. Go play your game. Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Y'all not gonna get me to treat y'all like y'all treated me. I'm gonna hold my standard. If you don't appreciate me, that's fine. You don't have to appreciate anyone, but you will leave. Okay, so Winter, you started off saying that I can barely stand, and now you're talking about property ownership in Egypt. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm not gonna read any more that you have to say today. There's just been too much. All right. So I hope you have a good night. I truly do. But I'm not gonna indulge you any longer. It seems like a waste of my time. And I'm gonna be real with you, babe. Times is dimes. I got shit to talk about tonight. But you have a good one. All of y'all have a good one for real. Y'all not gonna get me to be like y'all. No, I don't gotta be mean to nobody. Okay, you could get to go. Okay, you got property in Egypt. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but y'all have a good day. Again, I don't have to be mean to y'all. I didn't come to y'all to talk. Y'all came to me to talk. So have a good one. I'm not interested, but thank you. Genuinely. I appreciate you for being here. Thanks a lot. Say have a grande day. With that being said, Future, thank you for being here. I hope you're doing fantastic as well. Eric, they're bored. They're bored. Like, I feel like that's the thing. We don't usually get a lot of people that really have anything to say that's like negative and really is impactful. A lot of the negativity is just people bored. A lot of people are in their house. It's the cheapest and safest place to be, and so a lot of people are gonna be online trying to energy vampire. It's unfortunate. They could just kick it here. Y'all can roll up y'all weed too. If you got crack, I am not against crack. I'm not against no heroin. Whatever bunk you brought at your house, enjoy. For real. If you're 6 beers deep, I love you, bitch. Have fun. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. All right, Winter. We're just gonna get you up out of here, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, some people are just really bored tonight. But you know what it really is? Let's be honest. Trump being in office, period. Like first of all, Trump being allowed to run. But like, bitch, it's so many layers. It's so many layers. Bitch, Deirdre, thank you for kicking it. But low-key, get your sleep. I'm gonna leave this shit up. My thoughts on immigration. Um, it's again, I don't think a lot of people gonna feel like me, but I don't think anyone should come here because it's terrible. Like that's my first real thought. Is like I don't think anyone from any country should come here, especially non-black people, because I truly believe at this point it's extremely unethical for non-black people to come to America. That's how I feel. As long as there's no reparation plan, as long as there's no a reparation plan for not just black but also indigenous people, I truly don't believe anyone else needs to come here. No tea, no shade. We have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. So I truly believe nobody needs to come up in here. What needs to happen is white people, between me and you, bitch, the white people, the white colonizers, they need to start processing back out to Galway, France, Deutschland, Greece, Czech Republic. I would love to see the Russians come and get their people. I would love to see the Irish come and get their people. I would love to see that. I would love to see England. I would love to see the Crown come and get their people. I would love to see that. Because wouldn't that make more sense that the colonizers go back to where they were from? If they don't want people to come here, why would they be the authority on that? They're not from here. Most people in our government are not Native American and actually have no real ties to this motherfucking land. That's how I really feel. Now, with that being said, people who are been brought over here from chattel slavery, I would never be like, y'all need to go back to Africa. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's focus on removing the Caucasians. If we did that, I feel like that's a true first step. Because if the standard is y'all can go home, then why wouldn't the standard raise when we get to the most marginalized? If we're telling the colonizer, just go home, why wouldn't everybody else benefit immensely? Here's the thing. Native means born here in terms of indigenous people. I'm not talking about white people who have settler colonialed in. Let's be real. The 13 original colonies, they got y'all shit. They know who the fuck came here from there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you came from the 13 original colonies, I think they should bring y'all back home. For real. I'm about to hit up the king. Sure am. I'm gonna write a little letter and just be like, don't you think it would make sense to come get your people? Bring some ships with hardtack and gruel. That's what they ate. Bring their national delicacies. Bring some tea. I know they dumped it the first time. Bet they won't this time. You see white people crying? I wish I was in China. No, you don't, bitch. Because if you go up over there, you're not gonna be able to be a Karen. You don't want to be over there. You just want your groceries to come down, bitch. You do not want to live in China, bitch. You could not hang. Oh my God, bitch, just the way white people are crying so bad. They're like, I wish I could live in China. Girl, no, you don't. You really fucking don't. Most white people cannot hang. Like, most people cannot hang. Okay, you writing Caucasian and then writing blacks is crazy. Let's write white people and black people. Don't ever write blacks. It's never time to write blacks. We gonna need to always say black people. We're gonna always have to put, what is that, proper noun? We're gonna always need people after black. And see, that's the thing. Saying that Caucasians built this country is so silly. It is so silly. It's like saying that whoever the CEO of Amazon is why Amazon is so profitable. That could never be the case. It could never be the case. All right? Everything takes people. I keep on trying to tell y'all that. The TikTok ban don't matter. We're now used to talking to each other and having conversation. All we need now is to find apps that we actually want to fucking communicate on. We actually don't have the worst problem when it comes to TikTok being compromised by being seemingly connected with the Fourth Reich, bitch. Because let's be real, dog. Like, did y'all see Elon Musk? Now, here's the thing. Did I watch the inauguration? Fuck no. I didn't have to. Because the highlights of the inauguration were Elon Musk doing a Nazi salute twice. Elon Musk doing a fucking Nazi salute. Oh, bitch. And it's the way I've been watching so much shit about motherfucking the Holocaust recently. Something just told me to look at the Holocaust. I've been studying it for the past 3 weeks. And the way the nation of Israel came to be. And the way violence begets violence. And it makes me think about so many things. It makes me think about how, you know, when we talk about chattel slavery, which is the Ma'afa, MAAFA, which is the African Holocaust, we must talk about it because people talk about the African slave trade, and I feel like that's a disrespectful. I feel like that's such a disrespectful way of talking about it. It's literally an African Holocaust, bitch. And again, if you actually look into it, I truly believe that white folk really think DEI is the black version of Israel, bitch. I hate to say that, but there are white people who are actively complaining about not seeing white people in advertisements. And I'm like, babe, imagine sharing representation with more than just white people. And now they're feeling away. They feeling like they're not seeing themselves enough. Meanwhile, bitch, I go outside every day. What do I see? What do you see? You seeing all them black and brown people on the advertisements walking down the street in your neighborhood? Oh, fuck. Like, it's just the way that again, I'm usually a very chatty bitch, but I've been depressed all day just after seeing that Nazi shit. I was like, oh, that's the type of time. That's the type of time. And again, something just told me, like, it's more. It's more. Like, it's more to learn about the Holocaust. And I truly believe, like, people see black and brown people getting positions that they are qualified for, sometimes most times way overly qualified for. It's like about damn time that they got these positions. And the rollback, ugh, man. I just remember just watching videos about Germany after the Holocaust and how the people just changed their society seemingly in such a way, made it illegal to do certain things. And it's like, man, writing into law racism being illegal. And it wasn't even racism. Like, no tea, no shade, bitch. It was like xenophobia, right? Like, no tea, no shade. What I'm trying to offer is, like, it wasn't anti-blackness in the sense that, like, it was... I mean, ethnic cleansing, bitch, period. All right. Now we're cooked, bitch. I'm crying. I mean, you said fuck Tesla. I'm screaming. I know TikTok is back on, but TikTok is only back on because of Uncle Andy saying there haven't been colonizers for. I'm just some like Uncle Andy, just for you, babe. So here's the thing: colonization is not a one-time thing. When a group decides to colonize, such as white people, they don't stop. So that is why the United States has vested interest in Greenland right now. Even though Greenland is full of white people, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at this point in white supremacy, it's not about you being white anymore. Like, that's the thing, bitch. If they come for me in the morning, bitch, they're coming for you at night. So just keep that in mind. A lot of white people have already shown they don't care what happens to black, brown, and indigenous people. That's the thing about white supremacy. When you drop the standard for care for people, the standard drops for everyone. So assuming that black and brown people, indigenous people are going to be forever at the bottom, forever underneath the foot of fucking colonization, that was your first motherfucking mistake. But also, assuming that that shit would stick around and only affect one person, it's the way white people are crying and throwing up because they can't afford groceries and people in China can. And it's the way that that kind of reaction is distressing because, as I said before, I am not at all trying to disparage China as a whole, but I'm going to wake up authoritative, I am going to wake up authoritarianism. I am going to wake up that during COVID, people were locked in their homes and burned alive. We're going to lift up that like one size fits all policy is not a thing that we should be investing in because there are different needs for different people. And so while yeah, it's nice that China is offering 2 pounds of corn for 80 cents American. That's great. That's great. Who is working those cornfields? Does anybody know? I'm seeing a lot of photos of grocery stores. Food that's already been processed by who? Hmm? Again, it's the way that motherfucking enslavement be happening, bitch, and motherfuckers be like, they've got cheap corn. How? How's the corn so cheap? It's just the way that motherfuckers love just telling you something. No more information. They got cheap corn. What else, bitch? Because corn used to be cheap in America too. Real fucking cheap. And you want to know why that was? That's what white people don't want to hold. As folks gain rights, access that they've been having, yeah, you'll have less access. But what's more important to me is what kind of access we're even fucking talking about. Because there's not a lot of resources being offered to all of us, and yet, we know based on redlining, based on school budgets, we know that there's vested interest in keeping certain people certain places. So, with that being said, white people can cry all day about Chinese folk having access to food that's affordable, but white people will lose their motherfucking mind if you could eat the same motherfucking mango melon that their ass could. And that's why when you go to certain places, there ain't no grocery store. It's a Mexican food spot that got a little mercado next to it. And that's the freshest place to get groceries, especially right now. I really hope y'all are not overlooking the fact that a lot of these Mexican restaurants, a lot of these Caribbean restaurants, a lot of these West Indian restaurants, a lot of restaurants that are from tropical places, those folk have the fucking produce, bitch. Do not sleep. I'm telling you, those onions I'm growing, I got them from the Mexican market, bitch. Anytime I try to grow onions from Kroger Meyer, bitch, they be dying like 3 weeks in. These shit's been going for a month and more. I'm telling you, like, please do not forget that there are black and brown people on this soil that have international contracts. A lot of the food I'm eating is coming from fucking Brazil. I'm eating food that is not necessarily local to me, but it's not being frozen and given to me about to go fucking rotten. I will say though, some of the onions have been sprouted when I got them, but bitch, I just cut it in half and sprouted the shit. I just grew it. I treated it like something that was still living and could feed me later, and it is. Again, I'm not trying to offer that we all gonna be able to grow shit in our house, but bitch, you can grow a lot of stuff in your house. And honestly, I'm about to start showing y'all this shit because, like, literally, it's feeling like we really have to get in charge of our food production. It's feeling like we really have to start talking to each other about how the fuck to sustain in certain ways. Because right now, you know who's gonna be your best friend? The bitches that have been broke this whole fucking time. I'm telling you right now, it's about to get crazier. And all the girlies that grew up on WIC, I'm telling you, the girlies that grew up on WIC won't help you. Yes, the international market be coming through. Hey babies, what up, Nima? Oh my god. Mr. A, please don't do that. Eric, here's my thing. Do you really think China created the virus? Is that really tea? Because here's my thing. My conspiracy is that Donald Trump knew about the virus and released it on his way out. That's my conspiracy. My conspiracy is he knew how broken the system really is, and he knew if he was able to like put something this deadly out there, that he would be able to come back and eat it up. That's my true thought on some Gemini shit, because we know he a Gemini. I just feel like he was like, look, I'm not gonna win this next one. They do not fuck with me like that, but I'm gonna make them fuck with me. Like, it feels very much like a man that do something to make it seem like, oh no, I need help. Like, it's very much like he knocked over a fucking beehive and then came back and was like, oh wow, it's looking really crazy, you guys. Like, sweetie, what did you make sure was set up before you left office? You actually were briefed about this. Here's my thing. I feel like he knew about it before he left office. We'll give him that. I feel like we can at least give him that. Even allowing it to spread. It's like the way that, and again, I'm not trying to juxtapose China and the United States for any real reason. I'm just trying to offer. There was martial law some places. I did hear about, police officers being like, get back in your fucking house. I did hear about that happening to some people. Maybe more around New York, LA, but from where I was sitting, I do remember that, like, they were saying that they were going to find people, I believe. Like, they were willing to find people or jail them. I could be wrong, but I want to say that, like, we were taking it very seriously, that we had to get a certain amount of food for a certain amount of days to be in our house. So I feel like that's another layer of that too, is like staying in your house is not realistic for most people. So I feel like that's another layer, is like the United States was never going to weather this storm. Like, most people can't work from home. Most people can't even stay home all day. It's just not realistic. And so with that being said, it was never going to be able to be. And even with the stimulus, even with the money that was coming every month or every week or whatever, we're getting them $600 checks. It's like, what was the point of that? And I know some people say that, like, that's proof that, like, the government could help us all, that we could all be taken care of. But it's like, is that true? Like, what if they were just printing money? Like, I think about that. I think about during, like Nazi Germany, they was just printing money off. It had no real value. Now, my question is, was your curfew reinforced? Beanbags. And see, that's the other part of this. It's like, what does it look like? Again, I know there's been a lot of talks about general strikes, a lot of talks about people not paying rent for February. And I don't know what y'all are feeling. I know I'm scared. But yeah, I don't know what to do besides, like, just, again, I'm so scared, I'm so stressed. I started fucking organizing my home. Like, that's how stressed I was. I was like, let's handle what we can today. Like, let's do what we can. See, and that's the thing, Eric. It's like what, like, feeling like we're past certain things. I'm wondering, like, where does that live in your body? I'm not trying to be a therapist. I'm just wondering, because for me, I feel you know how when you're about to play a video game with a bunch of people and you're waiting in the lobby? It feels like that. It feels like we're gathering ourselves to get ready to do something. It feels like we're not going to be able to sit still for very long. It feels like we're going to have to, like, really make a move soon. And I think that that's the scariest part, is like how much, like, TikTok seemed like a place to kind of unify, and how we're all scattered. Wild seeds, bitch. And so I'm sure that was a good thing in some ways, Like, in some ways, I'm sure it was a good thing, but I feel like even the timing of us envying China. It just feels so Nazi Germany, bitch. It just feels like the perfect condition to do an ethnic cleanse, bitch. And it feels like they're focusing on the Latina dad, like the way that they took the CCP. I don't know if anybody remember or if anybody knows what that is, but apparently there is an app, or there was an app. It is no longer online, and apparently is being defunded. But it was an app to allow people to attempt to get asylum in America. And so a lot of these people are maybe like fleeing gang violence, religious persecution. These people are simply looking for a safe place to stay. And most of them were waiting for months and weeks. Nobody was waiting days. People had been waiting for a while. And today it was canceled at 1 p.m. And there were a bunch of photographs of people who were in the streets crying in Mexico today, because it was very much a Mexican US app that, again, allowed Mexican folks to come into America legally. And so now, seemingly, there's a punishment on the legal. I'm only doing the air quotes because it's like, it's like, what the fuck are they really trying to say? You know what I mean? It's like, if you tell us that you're coming here for a certain reason, we respect it more. But it's like, you really don't, because you're going to exploit those people no matter what. But again, I don't believe in law and order, so don't look to me to be upholding the law when it comes to immigrants. Because let's be real, bitch. Like, if I'm being super, super candid with you, half of my family is mixed people who are definitely not from here, bitch. Like, part enslaved, part immigrant. You know what I mean? And the other half of my family is recent immigrant, like a recent immigrant, and very happy to be recent immigrants. Seemingly nobody trying to go back to Jamaica. That's fine. I am going to try. I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like I've been taking a lot of time to think about this, but I don't think I'm gonna stay in America. And if I am able to get dual citizenship through my father, I am. That is what I'm looking into. Mainly because I genuinely don't want to be here when everything goes down, bitch. I'm gonna be real with you. I have no fight in me for this place. I've had to live here because, the penis that went into the vagina on this soil, you know what I mean? It didn't really protect, didn't really make sure that anybody was good. That's fine. But I will be trying to use my father's birth certificate in order to get dual citizenship. Absolutely. I don't know if that's possible. I am willing to lie and pretend to be nice to him in order to get him to help me. That's where I'm at. Do I want to live in Jamaica? Not necessarily. I've never really thought about it truly, but I do think that, like, when it comes down to it, I'm American by happenstance, and I want to just be candid that my only relative who was from Jamaica, or rather my oldest relative from Jamaica, my grandfather, me and him were pretty close. He was a really cool person. Like, he really just minded his business, it seemed. He was a widower. His wife died, and he just never remarried. But he was always like the nicest man. He was always the nicest man, and I was always surprised, that my dad was related to him, because I'm just like, how, like, my grandpa was so fucking nice. But I'll never forget, like, on my grandfather's deathbed, and I was privileged enough to see him in the end, and he apologized to me for coming here. And he felt responsible for why my life sucked. And it sucks to even say that, because it could not be his fault, but he truly thought that his decision to come to America and to bring my father and to start a new life in America was a terrible decision. And he cried. And he told me, he's like, I thought the streets were paved with gold. He's like, I believed everything they said. And it hurts to this day to know that, like, one of my ancestors, like, who's no longer here, just believed that he would have a better life And he knew, based on my life, that is not true, that he did not have a better life. And he's the only fucking elder that ever fucking apologized to me, and he did the nicest shit for me. He actually was someone I trusted. Like, after everything fell apart in my family, I actually could trust to go to his home and feel welcome. And so, in ways, it's like I have to believe that, like, there must be a better life. You know, for a motherfucker to regret living in America and to tell their grandchild, like, the one that was displaced, the one that went through a lot of crazy shit, you know, this wasn't shit. This place was terrible. I hated that I came here. I am sorry that I fucking brought you here. I'm sorry that I brought you here in my ball sack and your father's ball sack. Like, this motherfucker was retroactively apologizing for ever nutting in anyone to create my father and bring him here. And I'm just like, sir, it could not be all your fault. Like, I literally tried to let him know, like, I was not upset with him. And I never thought that he did anything, like, to make my life worse. But it still hurt to know that, like, that's what he worried about. Like, he about to leave. And he worried about apologizing to me for fucking coming to America. Like, what the fuck? And I wasn't old enough to understand what he was trying to apologize for, really. And now it just hurts even more because it's like, bitch, that wasn't your fault. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, you really thought you were going to give your family a better life. Your wife died. You thought that you were going to make better money, like, be able to take care of your family. Like, it's like, I get it. I get why he came to America. I get it. I get it. And I'm hoping to bury his last name in the dirt in Jamaica, bitch, with my body, because I ain't having no kids. And I just want to not be in America anymore. Bitch, I'm actually Gucci. To be honest with you, I'm actually quite Gucci. But I honestly don't know what Jamaica's like. I have no fucking clue. I went to an island a couple times, but definitely not no Jamaican island. So I don't know what the fuck to expect. I don't even know what the fuck I'm about to even, like, get into. But I feel like I've worked in, like, the hospitality sector. I feel like there's probably a job out there for me at a hostel or some shit. So I'm about to start sending some emails because, bitch, it's the way I'm about to go to Florida and take a boat. Deadass. No games. I know I got a cousin over there, bitch. I'm about to find all the Brissettes on the island, bitch. Somebody gonna let me crash in the motherfucking bag. Cause fuck that. Like, fuck this. Like, honestly, I don't even fucking like this place. Like, that's the thing. Like, I just been rocking. I just been fucking rocking. I have no fucking loyalty to this country. I never felt like this is the best place. Never felt that. And it's just funny as fuck, like, to watch, like, all the content coming out right now, because everybody's trying to figure out, is it the Holocaust again? Bitch, what do you mean again? That's the thing about the Holocaust. It never ends. The one in Germany still unfolding, and the one in motherfucking, bitch, the one in America still unfolding. Like, it's the way that they talk about the Holocaust like it's over, bitch. Meanwhile, I remember, and me and Dan was just talking about this. I'm like, bitch, in high school, it was so many white dudes talking about fucking the Holocaust, talking about Hitler. And I just remember thinking to myself, how do you read about the Holocaust and make jokes about Hitler? Like, how do you read that? I never understood that. And even to this day, I'm just like, how do you read about tragedy and pick out an evil person and try to, like, and it was white dudes thinking they were so hardcore, so punk, doing Nazi signals and shit. It was creepy as hell. And white bitches too. I'll never forget that shit. Them just making fun of Hitler. But it wasn't like the joke was on Hitler. The joke was on Jewish folk. And then also just the way they would be so... Bitch. Just... Bruh. Like this country very desensitized, dehumanized, bitch, in a way. Like is another motherfucking level. Like it's like the ways that some of us grew up knowing we was around little white psychopaths doing weird shit, and like you're just, and then again, just the ways that like I think about like growing up as a mixed person and just being and dead ass thinking like I could be friends with anybody. And having to learn over a lot of fucking crazy shit. Like I actually can't be friends with everybody. But also, what the fuck is friendship? Especially with white people. And again, just the ways that I thought to myself, I don't want to be changed by them. I don't want them to change how I am. And how hard that was to really sit with. That they're not really changing me. They're not changing me. My desire to accept and connect with people is not motherfucking necessarily offered to all. It's like it can be dangerous to connect with white people, and it's so frustrating because I remember I said that, and I think I said that I got dragged badly, and it just again it's the way that I said it can be dangerous to be kind to white people, and they dragged the shit out of me, like got me deleted, got me banned, like permanently banned and shit, and I'm like, wow, this is what I meant though. Like I was kind to those white people, but as soon as my communication with them became direct, became informed by intelligence, that's when they decided. And then also, not only did I say, it can be dangerous to be kind to white people, I said safety is not real, which is the truth. Like, none of us are safe. Duh. And that's what makes everything so much fucking crazier. Like, already not being safe in this world makes it harder to connect with anybody. Friend, relationship, parent, anybody. Because you already don't have a basis of fucking safety. And so me saying that to people really got them so angry, and they decided to show me how unsafe I was. And it was so funny because it's like, you gotta feel safe to say that to people, I guess. Like, I didn't realize you actually have to feel comfortable and safe to break that fourth wall. I didn't realize it was a fourth wall, but it actually is. Telling someone that we're not safe, and I'm sorry if I just did it all over again, but telling people, I feel like most people here know that like safety is not real. However, if you didn't know that, I mean, it makes sense, but like also look around. Who's safe? Like who is safe here? Who wakes up and is okay? And again, like, when a lot of us don't understand what safety looks like because we ain't been seeing it, it can be triggering to hear that somebody, especially non-white, is letting you know something that maybe is terrifying. I feel like that's the thing. Like, let me be uplifting. Let me operate as a brown, positive, spiritual, like, let me motherfucking offer something with a tarot card. Motherfuckers be so into it. Let me tell you plainly, based on experiences, that safety's not real. Oh, and now we all unsafe. Chantel, they drank black folk blood, like the Delectable Negro. That book really blew me because it's so much deeper than the psychopathy that I perceive. It's so much deeper than that. And again, I think about words that are used. The concept, like the word racist. It feels so much smaller than what it really is, if that makes sense. But see, that's the thing though too. Like, one missed paycheck away from a disaster, and then COVID hits. Like, but this is why I've been crying for days, bro. Like, there's just so much. There's just so much to talk about. And yet, at the same damn time, it feels like we beyond talking, which is dangerous. Very fucking dangerous. So dangerous. It's so fucking dangerous. Like, think about it. Think about before you really, like, think if you've ever been in a fight, what's happening before the fight? Ain't no fucking talking. Ain't no fucking communication that's done. And sometimes there is communication before the fight, but it goes really fast. And then it's done. And so again, like, I see Trump in office. I hear all the news about the bills he's signing. And it's the way he's just sitting there. And it's the way that he doesn't have to do it. It's the way that he is just the symbol. It's the way Hitler was just the symbol, you know? It's the way that he is the distraction while everybody else does the things. All right, Jake. I hope you have a good night, baby. I love you. And again, at the center of this, we also must not forget that we're in the middle of a male loneliness pandemic. I'm doing the fingers because, bitch, men don't know what loneliness is. Men think they're lonely, but really just ain't nobody fucking them. I hate to say this, but I feel like whenever I feel like whoever coined the term male loneliness epidemic, I feel like they weren't really thinking about what men are lamenting about not having access to. And a lot of them are lamenting to not having access to women in a romantic sense. They're not lonely. Loneliness means that other people can fulfill that void. Being pussyless, being sexless, being intimacyless is not loneliness. I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. And see, that's another layer to this. Thank you for saying that, Future, because I'd be missing shit. Yes, most of us are experiencing loneliness, and don't get me wrong, dicklessness too, sexlessness too. I'm not trying to make it seem like men are some special species. That's what my main goal is to acknowledge that a lot of us are experiencing loneliness, lack of connection, a lack of friends. There are so many of us who are living like COVID is still happening. And I know COVID is still happening. What I'm trying to offer is living like lockdown is still happening, rather. Like, we're not leaving our houses as often. And again, it's because of money. Forced celibacy epidemic. You're definitely not wrong. There are a lot of people out there who are quite sexually frustrated. And again, it's the way that white supremacy has always been feeding us a steady supply of very sexualized, aggressive content in order to get the results that they want from society. And so I'm really sitting with, just again, as I said when I first got here, I watched a bunch of videos from the last couple of years that I posted. And one thing that I said that really like popped out to me is that, like, some of us are supposed to get ate up. Like, I'm supposed to be in jail or have like a bunch of babies, probably supposed to be living in a trailer, getting beat. Like, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. There's a statistic, there's a statistical analysis based on test scores in school. So depending on what your grades were and how you were testing in school, that informs them whether or not to build more prisons, build more fast food places. And so with that being said, if you think about it, the lack of literacy, the lack of intelligence, the lack of information that we're getting, it is creating a permanent underclass that is just so focused on not dying that there's not a lot of time to revolt. There's not a lot of time to say, I'm tired and I actually can't do any more work. I need to rest. I need to read. I need to do some art. See, look, Kevin is assuming I have food stamps. This is what I mean. Some of us were supposed to get food stamps. Some of us are supposed to always be on Medicare. Hey, Aqua, like, that's just the reality. Like, some of us were really supposed to be born and then spend our life suffering and living in poverty. And that poverty is going to inform how we move in the world. When you grow up poor, you learn to steal. You have to. And I watched the show Harlots. If you're into watching hoes, like medieval hoes, like hoes from a long time ago, there's a character in the show who gets branded a T on her thumb because she's a thief. And it's the way that she's already one of very few black characters. And actually she's a mixed character. My bad. It's a UK show, bitch. It's a UK show. So you know how they be with the mixed people. But she's a mixed woman who shows up as quite brown. And people are constantly, just not really engaging her in good faith. And her whole energy very much gives like, I'm on my own. And so you can kind of get a vibe of like, her stealing isn't just for a joyride. She really is on her own. And so she has to make the most of it. On top of that, she's in England, where even though she's a mixed race woman, and I'm sure she made some coin, there are beauty standards in certain places, and people in America know what I'm talking about. And so in the UK, she's not getting the men that are spending the high money. She's not getting the coin. So with that being said, she's stealing to survive. And so her being branded a thief on her finger means that in the future, let somebody lie on her for stealing. She has a physical representation of that theft. And I think about how, again, in today's age, you get a record and that's following you. And you could be doing the best. You could be doing your fucking best. And let something go left at the job and people gonna pull up the fact that you have a record. Let somebody beat your ass. You got the record though. So they could say you started the fight. Who gonna disagree? And so it's just the ways that like some of us really were born into a situation where we were gonna have to learn how to steal. We're gonna have to learn how to lie. Gonna have to learn how to, sell some shit off the books. Some of us are literally put in situations where if we do not figure out what to do next, we're going to end up like maybe the parent we saw. And I think about that too. Like when you have a poor parent who is raising you, you kind of learn to kind of despise that behavior. And it's unfortunate. I know that some people don't want to hear shit like that. But when your parent raises you in poverty, when you are living every day in poverty and your parent is, again, disassociating, detached, mean, it's just like you really learn to kind of be like, I'll never want to be like you. And it destroys the relationship in a way that, again, my parent never had to say a damn word to me that was mean. The way they behaved, the way they performed in the house was enough for me to not want to deal with their ass ever again, really, once I got free. And with that also being said, the ways that having one parent means that you will be leaned on. Having one parent means you will be leaned on. You do not get to have the full expression of child. You don't get to be a full expression of child. You have to literally grow up with them because they may not have been emotionally ready to even have a damn child. And so some of us feel like we're older than our fucking mom. And that is a very bizarre feeling. Again, I'm ranting. I'm talking a lot of shit. I'm going again. I don't know. The last couple fucking days have just felt like just way too much shit is happening. And I also feel like, again, I said this, I keep on saying this, you could be 20 years old and you are literally the auntie of the group. And it's not because you're an old bitch, it's because you're willing to listen and answer questions and be present with people. It's a lot of elders that are like yelling at people, being mean, punching them, slapping them, locking them in rooms. It's a lot of elders that really don't have a lot of motherfucking care and concern despite being parents. And so, again, some of us really were supposed to get ate up. Some of us really weren't supposed to be happy, have a good day, have our clothes clean every day. Some of us really were set up to like look dusty at school every day and get roasted by people because our family did not have support. And really, again, I don't want to make it seem like we need to retroactively be like, man, I wish I was never born type shit. Because no, but I do think that like moving forward, there are so many women that are realizing that like, whether or not they want to do that labor, their gatekeeping humanity. And that's another reason why Roe v. Wade is happening. Because men think that women have too much power, because a lot of femmes and a lot of people who can give birth are like, why would I do this? And I love that. I love that. I'm so grateful. I'm a little bit of an anti-natalist. I truly believe being born in this system is actually evil. I think that I could not imagine having to tell a baby, yeah, that person that's outside, yeah, they just don't have any money, and so that's how we punish those people. No, the more that I gain knowledge in this world, the more sick I feel about how many little babies I know will one day wake up and realize like they didn't get to have a childhood because they were so poor. Their whole childhood was spent working, with their parent or taking care of, some other person with their parent. Like, again, I know so many people that live with a parent and their parent is, entertaining a person who's an abuser. Like, there's so many housing dynamics like that where your mom or your dad is fucking with somebody who's evil as hell and they're ruining y'all's life. And again, being a child in that kind of situation, which I have been, and just knowing like my life is worse now because my mom is fucking with this new man, and just knowing that like you can't get out of that. And then again, when you finally do, the ways that some of y'all may feel shame for the way you behaved when you finally got out of an abusive household. And again, I'm saying this shit because there needs to be more older people being honest about the shit that they've done that maybe they're not proud of, that maybe things that like they wish they didn't fucking do, because there's gonna be so many younger people who are gonna make decisions that are, again, not in their best fucking interest. But again, what kind of situation are you in that those are your fucking options? And I wish people would say that shit. It's not that you're making crazy choices, bitch. Why are those on the table? Some shit that's on the table is fucking wild. But can you really, you don't really have a choice. Aqua, you're not fucking wrong. That shit is fucking distressing. Like, it is actually scary to know that like people created you and like went to your birthday party and like gave you cards and like, rode bikes with you, and like those people are not your people. That is a mind fuck. And my heart goes out to anybody who has people that created them that are flimsy as fuck, that are not loving, that are not consistent. That is terrifying. That's a terrifying ass motherfucking feeling to know like, damn, y'all are not here. Like, sometimes I wanna yell at my family. Oh, Norge, bitch, it's been a minute. Hey, Capricorn ho. Good God, it's been 1,000 years. I'm so glad to see you. Yo, this is crazy. Like, me and this Capricorn girl, we went to high school together, but we never really knew each other like that. Like, we both just, like, I just feel like she had a friend group. I feel like I was dealing with a lot of white people. I'm gonna just be real with you. So I'm sure I probably seem like an op to her. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real. I probably seem like an op to somebody black, bitch, the way I was with the white people. So, I do not want to. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But anyways, yeah, we didn't know each other in high school, but we seen each other, and then we connected on the internet later in life. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But again, I just want to be candid. I just want to be candid that again, like if you see somebody with a lot of white people, assume the worst. Like that's where I'm at, bitch. If I see somebody, again, I'm not going to necessarily be like fuck you, but I'm gonna be like, all right, all right, all right, all right. You know what I mean? I'm going to do an ocular pat down, and that's what I'm going to do. But again, I feel like I'm being like hypercritical and hyper analytical in this moment. So I feel like that's why I said what I said. It's not like I sit here and think about this all the time. But with that being said, it's nice to see you, bitch. But yeah, getting back to it though. Um, a lot of us are fucking distressed. And so I'm going to take this moment to ask if anybody needs to use the bathroom, get some water, drink on their motherfucking cranberry juice from Aldi that's sitting next to them strategically. Like, whatever the fuck you need to do for you, bitch, please do it. As I said, we don't hate on people. This is a harm reduction area. So if you have crack, bunk, heroin, I don't care, bitch. Get fucked up. Have fun. Who knows? Who knows, girl? You might be the next president, bitch. Don't stop yourself. Live hard. I'm joking. I'm trying to be funny. But again, I'm being dead serious. Like, take care of yourself. Um, no, it is super cute. Bella, I got you on some advice. What up? I'm going back in the chat because I didn't see Nima's chats either. Chantel, Kevin is very lonely. Oh, Storyville? Mmm. Mmm. Hmm. I appreciate you for talking about your mom. Like, I appreciate anybody for talking about their mom because I feel like that's such a thing too. Like, I feel like I was just sitting with that. Like, like I hate how even if your mom is shitty to you, you really feel so much shame about dragging her. And don't get me wrong, I have talked about my mom so crazy, and there have been moments where I feel bad, but then I have to also remember, like, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make it seem like my childhood backstory was like on some losing Isaiah type crackhead tales, but my mom definitely traded me to a woman before. Like on some like my mom and me were just too similar, very Capricorn heavy charts, and my mom dead ass would just be giving me to people to raise me. And a lot of these women that were raising me, they did not want to really raise me. They wanted a child, and I was never a child because my mom adultified me. So a lot of the people that wanted to raise me were like, whoa, like this child is like, she's already like, she's reading the newspaper, like this bitch, like she's got her own life. Like, and it's like, yes, I had a whole fucking personality when I was born, bitch. I'm so sorry to tell you that. And I feel like that's why me and my mom clashed. Cause she's like, you don't want to be like me? No, bitch. The fuck? And I feel like she was very insulted. But it's like, girl, me and you look nothing alike. Like, why would I want to be like you? I don't think she really thought about it. It's like, why would I want to be like a Caucasian woman who's confused about her identity? There's nothing about you that is envious or admirable or I'm looking towards. And again, that's probably hard to hear as a mom or hard to see. That your child really Gucci on you and is appreciating you in some ways. I did appreciate her in some ways, but I knew in some ways, and I know this is gonna sound how it sounds, she didn't have nothing to teach me. And I think that that's what's so hard about having a white passing mom or even a white mom. Who knows? Weigh in if you have one. But it's like, what could she teach me about the world? I wanted to hear from her. But it's like at this point, I just know now even more than ever. She don't really got a lot to offer me. And even again, the way that I sent her a reading list with a black woman in the video, and she over here talking about some she getting triggered. I'm so sorry, but a white person telling me she was triggered by someone black giving her information on just what many black folks are experiencing, she really couldn't even handle a reading list, and it just really hit me like we're so different, and it's nothing negative. Well, I'm trying to be nice, and I really shouldn't be. We're so different. And I experience anti blackness, and she does not. And she will never hold that, yeah, I came out of your white pussy. Sure did. But I did not get covered in whiteness. Like your whiteness didn't protect me when I was away from you. And I think about that. I think about how in her care, like my mom beat up a white bitch one time for me because this white lady was acting crazy. And it was like, that's great. I love to see that. But on the other hand, it's like, you're not going to always be around. You're not going to be around. And I feel like that's the thing. My mom never taught me to fight. You know what I mean? I feel like that's another layer to this. It's like, bitch, you know, it's white people out here being racist. Why not teach me how to pick up a brick? Like, I feel like that's another layer to this. Is this the way you can have a white mom that she's going to teach you how to be what? A casualty? My God, it's the way I still be scared to fight back. And it's like, bitch, I be in real danger. But it's like, I was never socialized to do that. And it's the way that I feel like in retrospect, whole reason they had me in church the way they did, all the things that they did, I really feel like they were trying to set me up to be a quiet bitch. Just shut the fuck up. Worship Jesus. Stay safe. I hate to say that. But I feel like after my mom had me at 25, I feel like she was like, yeah, I'm gonna just put my kids in church. I really think that was her thought process. Like, let me just socialize these brown children with God. And again, the ways that if I was more tapped into Christianity, who knows who I would be? Because, like I said, my grandfather's father was a pastor, and my grandfather was in the church, and I was singing in the choir. I really was up in there, but again, I think I said this before. When my mom gave me away to this lady, again, Rumpelstiltskin type shit. Like, she literally told my mom had her third baby, and she literally was like, you already have 2 kids. Can I have your baby? And my mom was like, oh nah, you can't have this white passing one. But the older one who kind of mean to me, yeah, take her ass. And so again, I was gonna live with this lady. I'll never forget it. Her name is Miss Bianchi. I'm not gonna put her all the way out there, but she is a person of money and interest. And low-key, bitch, there's a part of me that like wants to send her a transcript of my book and just be like, just so you know, you could pay me to not mention you. That's how rich the bitch is. I want to be like, you could pay me to not mention you, bitch. But she told me, and I'll never forget this, that she used to spank me and put on gospel music because she wanted people to think that I was worshiping God. And that statement stuck with me till today, obviously, but for my entire life, because I started thinking about how you could be hearing someone crying in pain, but if somebody put God worship music and you heard that scream of pain, it would confuse you into thinking someone was worshiping. And then I took it a step further. I'm a child, by the way. I'm like maybe 9 or 10. And I'm in the church one day and I hear people yelling and singing and blah, blah, and I'm just thinking to myself, some people here could be suffering and I'll never know. I'll never know because they're pretending like that. In my mind, I'm just like, oh my God, like, what if these people are really sad or they're really hurting or something bad is happening to them and I can't tell now? And so again, just the ways that a child's mind works when an adult tells you something, when an adult breaks the code. Like, she didn't have to tell me that that's why she played gospel music, and I didn't have to fucking ask. But I really was curious, like, why would you play such beautiful music? Because I grew up in the church. I sang in the choir. I loved gospel music. I thought it was the best part of church, to be honest with you. That's low-key the only reason why I would go. I would be pretending to be sick, bitch. Like, low-key, it was 2 reasons. My grandparents would take us out to eat after church, and we used to the kids got to pick the place, and bitch, my fat ass knew all the good restaurants. Bitch, like, it's the way, as a little kid, I'd be like, let's go to Zorba's, let's go to, you know what I mean? I'll be coming up, I'll be like, let's go to the buffet. But also the singing, but also the buffet, like neck and neck, bitch. So anyways, yeah, and so I just remember thinking to myself, you know, people could really be going through something bad, and how would we understand that? And again, adults have said crazy things to me that have stuck with me, and I'm so grateful. Because again, sometimes, like, as a kid, like, I'm sure you're supposed to be worried about like homework and playing and shit, but my ass was sitting here like, you're watching me this? Like, it's the way low-key telling children about Christianity is kind of insane. And I know as some Christian folk might feel offended. That's fine. I don't care. I cared for a long time. I was very scared of y'all. That's why I don't care no more. Because it's like, bitch, do you know how crazy it is to be like, God, my brother had punched me in the head, and I'm actually about to do like a flying kick off the bed. Can you not put me in hell for this? Like, I'm not gonna hurt him too bad, but I gotta get him back. He bust me in my head. So, and I might push him down the stairs. Maybe that too. Let me know. Get back to me. I'm crying at snatching all the bread and ale, bitch. I live for you. Your son's classmates taught him about. Not Ryan's, bitch. Yes, Golden Corral, bitch. 3 different churches. Sweetie. Ooh, the drum solos. Alterell, how you doing? You said the best vocalist in the world that got in gospel. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Gospel, like, bitch. Bitch, low key, can we talk about, like, I know Tyler Perry is Tyler Perrying, but, bitch, the way the music in the Medea plays, like, let's be real. There's some comedy. There's some comedy. I'm not trying to do too much, but I'm just saying the music, though. The music, oh my God, what's done in the dark. Ugh, we're gonna watch that one day, bitch, because low-key, that's my favorite one. And I still can't believe she gave her husband chlamydia and then got cured. Like, that was a plot twist, bitch. I can't lie. That's wild as hell. No, you're not. I'm crying an intellectual equal with your white mom. By 13, I'm screaming. Bitch, that shit is wild. That shit is wild. You said it's kind of weird, like Sunday school's a trip. They tell you Jesus loves you, you love him, and you're like no, but see, that's the thing though too. It's like just the ways that like we was watching like all these shows about Jesus and all these different things that were supposed to make us, like really invest, like the Veggie Tales. Like I watched all that shit, bro. Like it's wild in retrospect. I don't know. And then also the way there was this creator that was talking about how Christians want communism. Like Christians' idea of heaven is literally communism. And it's just like, it's so funny when you think about it. Like in heaven, everything's free and everyone's just happy and we're all comfortable. Everyone's equal. There's no hierarchy. Isn't that funny that like Christians have like an idea of a state that they actually don't want to live? Like, again, it's just funny to me in retrospect because I never thought much about what heaven would be like. And again, it's the way that I grew up Christian, right? Like I grew up being told like not to say oh my God. Like I couldn't say oh my God. I would be told like, I was being bad. It was that kind of Christian. But again, my mom don't check homework. So it's not like she was like the most religious, but on Sunday, but in retrospect though, now that I'm older, I realized Sundays when we went to church, that was my mom's day to burn around because I'm just thinking about it and it's like it's the way that she would make sure. Like my mom was not the best at getting people ready for shit, but bitch, it's the way we was ready to go to church. It's the way during the week to go to school, toss up. But that Sunday that she got free, oh, we're going with our grandparents, bitch. And it's like an American, it's like a, what is it? Like we had to be to church by like, we had to leave at like by 7 or 8. We didn't get home till damn near 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So my mom was enjoying that motherfucking day, bitch. Alterell, I'm glad to hear that. No, I mean I feel like the live already got pretty deep. I feel like I'm just like ranting like hella hard because again, it just feels like like I seen too much Nazi Germany stuff. I seen too much Holocaust stuff. I made a big pasta, but I ain't let it get. I let it get a little cold. It's not all bad, but I don't know. I feel so weird because again, someone asked like, do you think like it's past like fighting? And it's like, or do you think it's past talking? And there's a part of me that's like, I mean, I feel like we gotta talk to each other. I don't know about talking to the state. Like I'm over here joking saying I'm gonna write a letter to the king. I'm really not. I never really was gonna write a letter to the king, but what I do think is probably necessary is for you to talk to people on your street. Like I really think it's gonna come down to like street by street friends. Like I really think it's gonna come down to like who's in your building. Let's get a free pile together. I want folks to think that it's time. It's time to say something. It's time to, reach out to that neighbor that looks slightly approachable. There actually might be people living upstairs soon. I don't know. They're like an interracial couple. It was like a white person and a black person, and they had a super cute car. And there was a part of me that was excited. But if I'm being honest, there's a part of me that wanted to like pop out the house. Cause like I know this is gonna sound crazy, but walk with me. What we're paying for this is insane. Like, this is not, like, we're not renewing a lease here. Fuck that. And I'm mad that I even took it because I feel like the reason why I was sitting for so long was because it was unreasonable. And I feel like when you start taking, like, when you say, yeah, I'm going to stay here, yeah, I'm going to take this, you kind of like you encourage that renter, that slumlord to keep on doing shit like this. And so there's a part of me that really wanted to like pop out and be like, hey, ask her to lower the rent. Cause like there's a part of me that wants to ask her, but I really don't want to. Really don't want to bother her at all. But there's a part of me that wants to ask her to lower the rent. Because there's a part of me that feels like there's things that like I want to upgrade in this place, and it's like, bitch, lower the rent. I'll fucking renovate this shit. But I'm not renovating it for fucking free. That's stupid as fuck. But this place is ugly. And I want to stay here for the year. And I feel like I can make it cuter, but I'm not doing it for free, like I said. But I have an idea on how it could look better and how honestly it could be worth 1,000. But again, I don't want to help this bitch for free. But I do want to lower my fucking rent because I know where to go to get some shit to upgrade this place. But I just want it to be cozy in here. It's like, bitch, I'm so tired of being fucking poor and like just like squatting basically, like not even being able to fucking decorate anything. Shit is fucking distressing. And like I want so much more than these lights. Like I'm so grateful for Dane. Like he's such a fucking Libra. He's like, bitch, we gonna put up a decoration. I love that about him. He really is like a festive ass bitch. Like one thing about him, bitch, he gonna remember the extras, and I love that about him because I'm just like, bitch, look, we got ham, turkey, bread, and he's like, what about the fancy mustard? And I'm like, girl, thank you. Don't lose that, Motherfuckers be taking little crumbs. Not Angela, bitch. I'm screaming. Lily, you got me screaming. The church is devastating drama. I'm gonna be real with you, bitch. I feel like you know what? I feel like I feel like my child brain wasn't all the way like aware of everything that was going on, but I don't know. I feel like they really kept. I feel like they really kept the kids out of the business at the church. It was very much like low key, but I also feel like my grandpa really went out the way to go to this church. Like in retrospect, my grandpa like drove like almost an hour to go to this very like low key church in the middle of fucking nowhere, but it was all very Caucasian. I know there was at least one or two black men in the church, but when I think about it, it was called Bethel Baptist. For anyone that cares, it was called Bethel Baptist. I think it was in, damn, I don't know. It might have been, Bethel Baptist. I mean, it might have been in Bethel. I think there's a Bethel, Connecticut. I could be wrong. But it was a way out the way. It was by like Lyman Orchards. Like again, if you type in like Lyman Orchards, it was just nowhere near my town, which was Meriden. But yeah, no, They didn't really put the kids in no business. Like there was Sunday school, and then like after Sunday school, we would go to the big church and just wait for our grandparents, which I appreciated because honestly, the big church, I used to hate when they used to let us go to the big church. Sunday school was just way more my speed, bitch. Like, don't have me sitting in the pew, bitch, because I'm going to sleep. You couldn't even lie? Damn. You couldn't say lie? I hate that for you. I hate the way that like language gets changed. Future, you saying that Christians believing to truly live is something to earn is precisely why the world is so fucked up. I don't disagree with you. We do live in a very Christian paradox where like we have to be worthy of anything, and it's like, why? Like, why can't our worth be intrinsic? I think about that a lot. Like, why can't we all be worthy of all the things that we need? It just feels very much like a strategy to empower a few over the most. And again, the ways that like we're all supposed to be like consuming to prop up big business. And the ways that like so many of us don't know how to do so much shit. Like again, like there's just so much shit that I wish I had access to learn. And I'm using the resources I have to try to find it. But it's just like, damn. Like, whoa. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I look at like not old, but sometimes I look at just what they try to tell us like America has progressed into. And it's just so fascinating when you really think about like all the things that have happened on this soil and where we're at right now. It is just like, white supremacy is so diabolical. Do Americans have waffles or pancakes after church? Honestly, I feel like after church, it's like afternoon. I feel like people aren't really brunching like that. I'm sure somebody does, but I usually notice people eating food. Ooh, Aqua. I love your idea of heaven and hell. I'm crying. I've never seen that 90s show, but I'm definitely wanting to check that out because I've been trying to go back into all the shows that I missed over the last like at least 10 years, bitch. It's been so many. But there's so many references I don't understand, like the Red Wedding, bitch. I don't know about that. I was not watching Game of Thrones with y'all. I was behind. Then I got sucked into Walking Dead. That show, it's got a couple moments, but bitch, that farm season took a lot out of me. That Terminus season, good payoff, but holy shit. Walking Dead is dead. They ain't lying. They ain't lying. They is walking. And I'm dead tired of seeing that shit. Like, so for real. The way they try to do spinoffs, I'm like, girl, y'all can only work in this world for so long. Like, give me something new, girl. Give me something new. Like, The Walking Dead low-key boring as hell after a certain amount of time because it's like, okay, zombies. Okay, zombies. Okay, allegory. Okay, people are scarier than zombies. Okay. Woo. It's the way that Negan didn't move me, bitch. I hated the Negan storyline personally. I really hated it because you know what it made me think of? How like, bitch, at the end of the world, it is gonna be some annoying white people. No, I'm tired. Like Negan was just a very annoying white man. But the way the white people were talking about him, you would thought he was a great villain. How so? He was just annoying. But you know what though? And I feel like that's just that on that. The main character, Rick, bitch, that show actually so fucking boring. Like when you really think about it, like they had me sucked in for a little bit, but it's like, bitch, low key, Like, and I feel like that's the thing that's annoying. It's like, bro, why not show me the breakdown? I know in Fear they do that, and I thought Fear was pretty good. But the main character of Fear, the one who played Nick, I believe he was a biracial bitch. Them using like a white passing biracial as the main character and he was a crackhead, I kind of live for that. More white passing crackheads, please. I didn't know I needed that, but the way he was giving crackhead, I liked it. I did. I really love Fear the Walking. That first season had me screaming, bitch, because it's like, bitch, a crackhead would survive. Like, it's true. Like, let's be real. Especially a white crackhead. Oh my god, bitch. A white crackhead at the end of the world? Girl, it's the way motherfuckers gonna think he's worth saving, girl. It's the way they gonna think just off whiteness. And then he's doing crack, girl. Who else not doing crack in the end? Like, I'm just saying, it's the way that, like, The Walking Dead not even realistic. Because it's like, where are the drug labs, bitch? Like, let's be real. People gonna start doing a lot of crack. It's going to be mostly crack and weed. And booze. And booze. There's no... Come on. But then again, maybe I'm just high and projecting. Pause. Just, just give me some grace. I made a pink sauce. I had a little bit of like this tomato pesto left over, so I was like, fuck it. And I had some like spicy hot sausages, and I was like, bitch, I want something to get home cooked. I made a little roux, put some allspice in it, which is pretty fucking tasty. It's not usually what I make. I regret not putting any greens in it because I got some fucking arugula and spinach mix in the freezer. Bitch, I even got some kale in there too, bitch. I could have really made it a little bit more good, healthy, you know what I mean, for the bitches. But you know what? Sometimes, bitch, sometimes you forget your greens, you forget your probiotics, you forget the green protein. That's okay. That's fine. But what a missed fucking opportunity, bitch. I could be mad about it. Yeah. It is pasta in a cup because I don't want to wash any dishes, bitch. Like, fuck washing dishes. I'm going to eat out of a cup. It's fine. I mean, evolution being digital, I don't disagree. Like right now, we're all hanging out. We're all hanging out. There are 27 people, not to put you on the spot, 27th person, but just saying, there's if we were all here in person, that would be wild, would it not be? But again, we have figured out how to be with each other without being with each other in a way that Alexander Graham Bell would be proud about, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he? And shout out to Alexander. He was like, I want to hear bitches when I'm not near bitches. I'm like, Alexander. And now you can see bitches when you're not near bitches. I love it. I love to see it. Me too. I love a decorative light too, bitch. I'm dead you're curious about the pasta. It's a rigatoni. I try to do an Alfredo. You know my secret spices, bitch. I'm gonna tell you how I did it for real. Cause like again, you don't need this, but I love talking about cooking because I'm getting better at it. So I took 3 sausages, browned them. I don't have like one of those things to like hold it down, so I put a pot on top of it, bitch. And low key, really did the trick. And then from there, I started boiling my pasta water. Usually I put some garlic paste in it, but I didn't have that shit. So I just used some salt and some butter, and I put the pasta in there. Already had my sausages mostly done. They were browned, but there was a little bit of pink in the middle, very little, but just enough so that I can like, once I made my sauce, which was just like butter, allspice, and cracked black pepper, and then I sprinkled in some flour, let that cook until it got a little bit, just a little creamy. And then from there, I added some pasta water in and then let that thicken up a little bit on high heat. And then I added in some, like a whole, like half a block of cream cheese. And I threw in the pasta and kind of just let it all marry itself together. And then from there, I used some scissors, bitch. Honestly, holy grail, bitch. I used some scissors to cut the fucking sausage, bitch. Because honestly, fuck using a knife. I'm tired. So I cut the fucking sausage with the scissors. Then I mixed it. Then I cut the last two. Then I threw some like provolone on top, bitch. Threw that shit in the oven under the broiler for like 6 minutes. It cooked down. I could have put a fucking egg yolk in there, low key. But I just really didn't give a fuck. Like I really could have did a lot more, but that cream cheese was like the smartest thing I did because I feel like the sauce, like after it baked up, it was so thick and creamy, but not overwhelming, not soupy. Like it cooked like really firm and al dente as fuck. And the sausages came out great too. My God, I'm gonna just have another bite, bitch. Obviously, I'm obviously fucking starving, bitch. I'm obviously fucking starving. Mmm. Mmm. Ooh, you watched I Care a Lot? Oh, Terrell, what do you feel about it? For anyone that's never seen the movie I Care a Lot, it's really fucked up and it's really scary. Basically, this woman, she stalks older people that have money. And she kind of like it's very much it feels slightly like a Wendy Williams situation where someone knows that someone who has money is going through a hard time and they exploit the relationship by getting this person kind of like under a mandate of like care. And this person's a stranger. Like this person doesn't know this person, but they're involved in being a mandate. And so it's kind of scary to think about, but you know, Wendy Williams is under a mandate right now, and I believe it could be something similar. I know she just gave an interview recently and was saying that she can't leave the state without doing a phone call. And again, after her husband embarrassed her, I'm sure she had a fucking meltdown. On top of that, there were rumors that she knew her husband had cheated on her and was having a new baby, but that she wasn't wanting it out there. She was aware, but it wasn't something that needed to come out. And so my heart goes out to Wendy because as much as like she spilled the tea for a million years, it just feels bizarre to not hear her and not see her. It feels scary, honestly, to know that she's just like somewhere. Even her doing this interview felt kind of like, how are you able to do this? And you know what, Chantel? They be writing a lot of stuff in that book, don't they? You just saw The Sopranos. Was it worth the time? Because I've been thinking about it too. That it's funny you brought that up, but I've been thinking about it because again, every now and then I'll want to watch something like a deep dive on a show, and I'm like, bitch, do I really gotta watch 6 years worth of these motherfuckers' lives? I'd be like, give me the cliff notes, bitch. Like I live for the recap channels. I live for the for the nostalgia. Like just to give a random shout out for the nostalgia. I love her content so much. Like she goes through a lot of like black movies and like does recaps on them. And I just love her commentary. She's worth your time. I hope you check her out. Yeah, no, Walking Dead is fucking terrifying. Really? Wait, well, how? Wait, when do you say that I gotta get rid of Game of Thrones? Like, when do you say it falls off? And Coral, indeed. I'm crying. Wait, have y'all been seeing that they're dragging Carrie from Sex and the City recently? Like, I've seen nothing but deep dives on how Carrie's the worst character. And I'm gonna be real with you. I think they're all the worst character except for Samantha. I know some people will not fuck with her. Um, I just feel like I'm pro hoe. Like I was happy that she was a hoe on the show. And I thought it was wild. Like I thought her storyline ending the way it did was wild to me. I was like, you know what, Samantha, they better give you a fucking happy ending, bitch. Honestly, after all that. Mm, no, me too, me too. Um, ooh, white pepper. Thank you for telling me, cause I'm late. When you use pasta water, there's starch in it, so if the water's a little thicker, it's also seasoned water. Usually, like sometimes people will put like herbs or at least salt in the pasta water, so it's kind of like adding a hit of flavor, but also a hit of body. Because once you start cooking down that pasta water, you only need about a cup of it. Um, Depending on how much you're making, I feel like usually for one or two people, about a cup is fine. Even a little less is fine too, depending on how much sauce you like. But if you like a lot of sauce, save a cup. It's worth it. No, the ending of I Care a Lot was really good. But also like the movie was just very terrifying. Um, to think about, like I think about how there's so many people in this country that are like, I want to have a certain amount of money, I want to be rich, I want to be able to do this or that. Like I remember a couple of months ago, I was watching a video where somebody was saying, it wasn't even a couple months ago, it was like a while ago actually, it was like almost 1 year ago, and somebody was in the live being like, when I have money I feel like I'm free. And I think that that's part of it is like when you have money, you feel free. And like, I think that's why the movie is so terrifying, is because a lot of us poor folks think that like when you have money, you're free. And I'm sure there are a lot of rich people watching this movie like, what? Like somebody can like notice that I'm unwell. JS, sometimes watching a whole show is a big commitment. It's a big commitment, especially if it's well made. Because think about it, some of the best shows out there, like some of these scenes that are created, the subtleties, the little comments. Again, some of this shit is really art, and I'm like, I want to pay attention. Some of this shit, it's like you could really just like low key, bitch. It's the way I want to catch up on some of these like reality shows, and I just want someone to tell me how we got here. That's it. I just want someone, and you know what? I'm gonna just reveal it. Like, I literally want someone to tell me what has happened in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as quickly as possible. Because I'm like, how did we get here? What happened to the band? Why is Scrappy out here getting random people pregnant? What's going on? Why is Mama D still a pimp? Please, like, someone help me. Cliff Note The Sopranos, thank you. Thank you for that honest truth. Okay. They do stay dragging Carrie, and I be dying laughing because I think Carrie's also a Sagittarius, seemingly. Again, I got love for the Sages, but I just feel like, from my perspective, Carrie's character, and this is how I always saw it, she was the girly that just wanted to have a good fucking time and wasn't necessarily as old as the other girls. I always got a vibe like she was the younger girl. She was the baby of the group. That's what I got. I got that Charlotte was young too, but she had a different path, such as wanting to get married and be a girly of status. And then one of the girlies was a working girly. Well, the other two girlies was working girlies that had some age on them. No shade to them, but they both had a little bit more life experience. I kind of always got the feeling that Carrie was writing this fucking column, but didn't know too much. And that's why she was always experimenting and having a good time. But I feel like in retrospect, I definitely see myself in Carrie, because it's like a bitch that's just trying anything and talking to mad people about these things that you're just trying out. And again, the way people will see her as the main character and very knowledgeable, when really she's giving you musings, And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the way that I think some young girls saw that show as a knowledgeable woman bringing you through her life. When I think the reality, and I only know this because I'm like fucking 35 now, and I know how to watch TV in certain ways. What I mean is, like, I know how to look at characters and be like, oh, this is also happening. And so now that I'm watching it back, I'm like, man, she was the baby trying to give people advice, and really Samantha needed the fucking column. Samantha and Miranda both knew more than her in a particular way. And I'm not trying to take away from her. I'm just saying that like she was the friend that you would want to kick it with, going to something new, because she's gonna really throw herself into that shit. But I think that like Carrie also shows the dangers of like just believing, just following your heart, you know. And again, I identify with her because I definitely am a kind of bitch. It's like, let me follow my heart. Let me just do the thing. Let me just see what's out there. And then I do. And then again, it's the way that life is experienced. Again, I totally understand where Carrie's coming from, but people are dragging Carrie so bad, and it's funny to me because again, I think that she's I don't want to say she's a great character, but it's kind of like Alina Dunham. It's a character that feels so real. It's the way Carrie and Lena Dunham both feel so real. Hannah, Hannah feels so real, so real, so real. Like I know that white, I know these white women. Just saying. You're a Carrie apologist. I love it. Ooh, Abbott Elementary is really good. I didn't see the crossover with It's Always Sunny. Did anybody see it yet? Was it good? I bet it fucking was. Wait, don't come for the anime people, bitch. It's the way I'm about to get into the Last Airbender, bitch. It's the way that like I watched it a little bit, but I didn't get all the way in. But now I'm about to start it over. So please, but low key, bitch, I don't know all the animes and shit, so I'm not gonna cape for them all. But it's the way the Last Airbender sounds so good to me, bitch. And just hearing about the fucking Fire Nation, and it's a little bit was spoiled for me, but not enough to turn back. You had to reflect because you related to Carrie, then saw the fans drag her. I'm screaming. Here's my thing. I feel like Carrie is messy. For me, I feel like the messiest thing about Carrie is the cheating shit with Big. Personally, I feel like that's one of the messiest things. Have I seen the whole show for real to tell you like a list? No, but I feel like when I think back to Carrie, I'm like, you know, what you did to Natasha was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy, and it was also clear that she was jealous of Natasha. But I also think about the ways that, like, you know, like from what I noticed, like Carrie is, you know, she's like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was neurodivergent. I also wouldn't be surprised, um, you know, if she's male identified. I think that that's another layer to this. It's like even writing a column about love as a hetero woman, it's like, what the fuck you think she's gonna be writing about? How to get picked. And I think about how patriarchy really does like center on like being desired. And when women write about being desired, a lot of times it is for the male gaze. And so I think that Carrie had really great outfits. I liked looking at her for the most part, but I do think that it's so fascinating how like white women just get to look like whatever. It's like the way that the Sex and the City girls look like just such a regular white. And I think about how like that's how pervasive white supremacy is. It's like you see girlfriends, right? Bitch. Like it's the way that like to be on TV and non-white, you have to look a certain way. And even the ways that like even the way that like the main character is the biracial person, you know? Like and the way that there's two biracial people on the show, and it's so interesting in retrospect to think about that. Like that show is seemingly one of the like shows, and I know like Living Single. I know that that's a show that folks also appreciate as well when it comes to Black women representation. But it's like even the way that like, hmm, you know what? I just thought about how like there like for some reason on In Living Single and on Martin, there was just this joke of like two brown skinned people making fun of each other. Like that was just written into the show. And I literally just started thinking about that. I'm not saying for any particular reason, but I just started thinking about how like that was just a trope that like Maxine and Pam, like they both were not seen as like worthy to just leave the fuck alone. Like it's the way that like when you really think about Martin and Pam and that dynamic, it's like I can understand every now and then like two people who have to hang out with each other because of one person and they're not necessarily friends having silly little back and forths. But it's the way that like Martin had made sure that like Pam was always the butt of the joke. Even if she got a good joke off on him, he'd still be able to lob off two or three more at her. And it's just the way that like at some point Tommy started dating Pam. And I'm just like, how did Tommy never beat up Martin? Like not one time. Like not one time there couldn't have been one bop. Like I don't know. That's the part that never was seeming realistic to me. Cause I'm like, how is it that at some point you are fucking with Pam, like you are loving her seemingly, but you're still not checking Martin? And like there'd be times where you would see him go, hey, hey. And it's like, really? I wonder like but I'm not gonna lie. I used to think like when I was younger, I used to think that they were roasting each other. Like as a kid, I remember thinking to myself like, yeah, Martin is mean to Pam, but Pam always shoots it back. That's what I thought. In retrospect, I think that that was like a writing thing. I think that they knew they couldn't just have him talk shit to her in a particular way. Like I feel like in ways or at least from what I'm thinking now, it just feels like they had to write her saying something back to him at some point because he was always going after her. And again, the way that it was never like loving, it was never like a friend. It was always like this dude does not like you and he feels like he can say anything about you and nobody sticks up for you. And again, the ways that like the ways that I haven't been bullied the most, and I'm not even trying to compare myself to Pam in any way. What I'm trying to offer though is that the ways that like that was a standard for their friendship. Like that was like supposed to be the dynamic that she was like the seemingly unwanted, deep dark skinned friend of the girlfriend who's light skinned, who is also barely sticking up for you. And again, the ways that like there have been so many deep dark skinned folks being candid about just people being unkind, rude, weird, strange, and the ways that like Martin is seen as a classic black show. And again, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that whenever I talk to anybody who is around my age, who's talking about shows that they really love, Martin gets brought up a lot. And again, I've laughed at Martin many a time. I have. But at this point, it's just kind of like, like just again, I know we're talking about fucking Sex in the City, but it's the way that like I think I'm blanking on homegirl's name. Jennifer Hudson, I think it was. I might be wrong. I could really be wrong, but I want to say Jennifer Hudson was in Sex in the City. Um, and again, the way that that was such a big deal, and it's like, bitch, it's New York. There's black people everywhere. What are you doing? Mm, okay, 32. Okay. Oh wow. Samantha needed the column right. Why wasn't she writing about fashion or shoes? You know what, Samaris? You got some good questions because she really did have good fashion. I always thought Carrie looked cute as fuck. But I always think about how, man, I don't know. Like, I know this is going to sound how it sounds. I know it's going to sound fucked up. But it's just like, man, Sarah Jessica Parker being the lead, like, whiteness not like I don't know, bro. Like I feel like whiteness is so fascinating. It's you really never know what white is gonna like. It's the way that they've been showing pictures of Barron Trump, and I'm like, and they really are like, look at Barron. And it's like, what are you? Stop. like it's the way that whiteness is such like white beauty is such a myth that whiteness is invested in heavily, and the way that they tell us like, look at how hot this person is, and it's like, and we just supposed to go with it, like, or else we're crazy. Not you blame Mr. Big. What do you blame Mr. Big for? You said Lena Dunham wasn't even that big. Lena was small fat, but think about it, to white bitches, she was not small fat. And I feel like that's another layer. When you're the fat bitch in the girl group, it's different. Like being the fat one, like kudos to all my girlies here, that's the fat one. But being the fat one and you're white, asterisk. Because yeah, I do agree. Like looking back, I'm like, damn, Lena, you're little as fuck. But at the same time, Hollywood, they'd be like, Cameron adds 10 pounds. And if that's true, then like, damn, she was smaller than we thought. They did act like Amy Schumer had motherfucking. I mean, I just feel like Amy, again, when you're white, you cannot be fat. And I mean that like on some 20 pounds type shit. Like whiteness really is a vanishing act. And so they want white bitches skinnier. They do. And I feel like a lot of white women know that. A lot of white women know like they could always get smaller. And just the ways that, like, again, when you're not white, the way that you know you can get too small. And that's wild. It's so wild. Like, the patriarchy always is operating so fucking demonically. Like, it'll really look in the face of some women and be like, don't lose them curves. And it'll look in a white bitch face and be like, don't get flabby. Don't get a big back. And it's the way some of us are chasing curves. Some of us trying to chase the right body shape. Some of us trying to lose weight religiously. Some of us trying to get small, so small. Maybe we'll fucking disappear. And then it doesn't matter who's looking at us anymore, right? Abbott Elementary be 30 minutes easy watching. No, Abbott Elementary is like like Abbott Elementary is like chips that are made with like purple corn and shit. Like them quinoa chips. It just tastes like it's giving me more. And I think that's what I love about Quinta. Like honestly, I'm really proud of her. I'm calling her Quinta. If it's Quinta B, my bad. Like genuinely, bitch. I'm high, bitch. Don't be listening to me, bitch. I be yapping. But no, Quinta, she really did that, and I'm proud of her. And I really love the way that she writes. Like I feel like even comparing it to The Office is so fucked because it's like The Office could never, like The Office was good because it was white people being their psychopathic self, which is more possible in a corporate setting. When you work at Panera Bread, white people being demonic it's happening. But at an office, bitches are wearing slacks and button-ups. Oh, bitch, the pilgrim comes out. Like, let white people put on... Like, I'm telling you, bitch, it's the way white people go into an office and they got buckled shoes, bitch. It's the way they ready to, like... It's the way they ready, like, they on that colonizer journey, bitch. And it's so terrifying because it's like, what about this career basic outfit taught you or told you that you were a king? What about these slacks are telling you that you're above everybody and that you don't have to ask, like, if people are doing okay? Like what is informing you that you're above all of us? Career basics. They made Jennifer Lewis anti-Semitic. I just be so tired of people trying to, like, bitch, the conversations around black people being racist right now are just distressing the fuck out of me. Like, it's the way that white people want black folk to be anti-black so bad, like want them to be anti everybody else so bad. And it's so frustrating because again, like there are definitely insensitive ways to speak on people's communities. There's lots of layers to communicating about people or even acknowledging people. But it's the way that like white people are really thinking what like white supremacy is on both sides. Like it's very whew, I just feel like that conversation keeps coming up over and over again. Like white people being like, I'm noticing that, these non-white people are bothering me. Like the way they're talking is bothering me. I'm distressed. And it's like, you can be distressed. That's just fine. Like it's the way white people want you to really give a fuck that they're distressed. See, you saying Pam is better than Gina, I feel like it wasn't until I watched it back as an adult that I noticed that. I think like when I was younger, the way I saw Martin all over Gina, it really felt like, and the way the camera, like again, like I just feel like the more I watch certain stuff, the more I pay attention to who is marginalized on set and how they're being lit, how they're being, the camera sits on them. And again, like as a kid, I remember thinking like the way the camera would hit Martin and Gina and how they seemed like so happy together and their relationship seemed so solid and the ways that the camera like they did not light Pam well. They did not. And it's something that I didn't notice until rewatching it that like they really did just put her together with any old thing and just expect her to go out there and do everything like everybody else. And I don't feel like anybody got the lighting she got. And I also feel like the ways that like whenever anything would happen on the show, like Martin screaming, like Martin's acting a fool. I enjoy Martin Lawrence, I do. But the ways that like he would just like the ways that like when he was addressing Pam, it would be a standoff. It wouldn't be like some casual little moment. It would be like I've got to show down with this woman. And it's like every time you see her, and again, talking about her stinking, talking about her being ugly, talking about her being like an animal. Like these aren't like little silly little jokes. They're not jokes at all. It's massage and war. And again, the ways that it was normalized as like this is just something that he says to Pam. And it's like, again, it's the way that Gina was special to him. And you could tell she still got roasted. Do not get me wrong, but she was never roasted like that. And again, just the ways that Martin, I think, shows some men how to behave around women. And I think about that too. What up, Max? Like some of these black male comedians or just showrunners, like even Fresh Prince, I'm sure Will Smith taught some men how to talk to women. Again, like some folks don't want to think about it like that, but some of us watch show like I think about watching like Bad Girls Club, Bridezillas, Gossip Girl, The OC, and the ways that I definitely watched the women in that show to inform who I wanted to be. And it's still happening. All of us are watching these people on shows and we want to like emulate them in some way. And again, the ways that like someone just made a video being like, are black men raised to be husbands? And I felt that shit in my chest because it's like we see all these videos about black women and black single mothers and coming from one parent households and just all these things that are very much dog whistles about black women's capability to be viable partners. But it was the first time I saw a video where it was asking, like, do black men have the scaffolding to be worthy partners and equal partners to black women? And I was like, dang, I've never heard anyone ask that. And just again, the ways that, like, I think about the quote, some years ask questions, some years answer. And I think about how this year, I think is going to be both. Honestly, I think that's the thing about Aquarius energy. It's the duality, it's everything. There's no this or that, it's everything. Trump's first wife was in the First Wives Club. Trump's first wife is in the First Wives Club. Low key, the First Wives Club is my movie, bitch. It's just so funny to me. It's just funny to me. Also, did y'all hear that apparently it's getting harder now? There's a marriage covenant act being passed in Oklahoma. Again, I'm not trying to stress y'all out, but apparently it's getting harder to divorce people. And I'm kind of like, there's a moment in my spirit where I'm like, Oklahoma girlies, y'all better keep your fucking Oklahoma foot on their Oklahoma fucking neck. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, girl, you know how many men getting left behind, girl? You know how many motherfuckers getting left behind in Oklahoma for them to be like, hold up. What a messy little bitch. And they're really trying to stop women from getting away. Because that's want to go. There's a great divorce happening right now. I've said this before. I watch a lot of content about many different communities because, bitch, I want to know what's up. And some of this shit be adding up. Like, some of this, like, some shit happening in one community, and then some other shit, I'd be like, okay. And so, yeah, there's the great divorce happening right now. A lot of women are realizing, I'm a happiness machine. I'm a wife appliance. I'm a lover and a secretary. 11 years. I'm sorry. I love that song. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of women are realizing, like, it's not worth it. This ring not worth it. I should just pawn this ring. I'm raising the babies and working. Cleaning the house. Why would I stay with this man? He wasted my time. And again, the ways that some women are like literally not able to get free. A golf course. I didn't even know that. I live. Oh my God. I love y'all connecting. It's the way you hug your belly now when you used to be afraid of it getting bigger. Oh, Terrell, that's the cutest thing to hear. I love to hear that. Yes, like sending loving touches to your fat body. That is so fucking necessary. I'm glad you said that. Because, baby, it's the way that it is. The prices of food are terrifying. And then that coupled with Ozempic, man, it just feels like it is such a war on fat people. Like the colonizer's imagination, bitch. He said, bitch, you better work it off. Work your fat to the bone. I'm crying. I'm a mixed person and I'm agender, meaning that I don't really care about gender that deeply for me. If you think I'm a man, I don't care. If you think I'm a woman, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just existing and I'm grateful. How do I feel about the inauguration? As I said earlier, I am planning on trying to immigrate to Jamaica. My father is from Jamaica, and I'm really hoping that could be something that happens for me. I don't know what it looks like to be deported, but I'm looking into it. Again, I'm not trying to go right now, obviously, bitch, but I'm definitely trying to make a move. Hopefully by this year, next time this year. Yeah, by this time next year, I'm hoping that that's like something that's like coming up at least, if not already happening. But yeah, I don't know. And again, I could be full of shit. I could totally move west. Like, I feel like that might end up happening too. I'm not sure exactly, but I don't know. Like, again, like, that's the thing. Like, there are a lot of Mexican folks trying to push Americans out of Mexico City, which I understand. There are a lot of work from home people living in Mexico City and fucking up the prices, colonizing again. And I think that that's another thing too, is like, I'm gonna try to like, become a citizen of Jamaica if I go up over there. I'm not going to try to bring American currency or like I feel like it's a larger conversation that would need to be happening, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that invested in living here. I'm gonna just be real with you. I just happen to live here. You're from Oklahoma. People here have 2 divorces. Oh, yeah. Mm. Encourage to shack up with your high school sweetheart. That is so. Oh, what up, Nine? That is so fucking distressing and scary. Yeah, I am Marshmallow. Hey, baby. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you as well. But yeah, no, like that's so terrifying. Like I can't even imagine anybody being married under 21 years old. It's like, who are you? And then even 21, like who are you? Like it's so terrifying to think about that. And it's not me trying to say that you can't know yourself in your 20s, but I think 20s is about finding out who you are, not being married to a man and raising babies. Mm, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to shame anybody for having children or being like married young or anything like that. Like if that is your path, like again, but I think about just the ways that a lot of us just did not have that engagement on programming. Oh my. Mm. And let me guess, all the boys that summer going to basic training, like it's giving. Oof. Mm. It's just not giving. Yeah. Yeah. Again, as I said, some of us are just supposed to get ate up. Like some of us are literally supposed to like leave high school and go to the military and die. It's so sad. Like some of us are not even supposed to be able to use that diploma. It's supposed to just be a piece of paper for a lot of us. Like it's really sad, but it's really the truth. Like whenever they get them grades, bitch, every graduating class, they're like, "Do we need more prisons? Are these people going to be able to escape poverty?" Does my book document the Tumblr era? I'm crying. I'm lying. I don't have a book. I'm just saying that I want to write one. I feel like if I did write a book, I feel like I would have to include Tumblr. But my question is this: like, my question is this though? Like, do people like? I don't know. Like somebody said something about how like I was like one of the. Oh my god, yo, I'm gonna just unplug my shit. That's the issue. Um, but what I was gonna say is somebody asked me, or somebody had said that like I was like plus size influencing before it was a thing, and I think it was more that like I am a fat person, so if I take a picture, it's gonna be a fat picture. If I put on an outfit, it's gonna be a fat outfit, and so I think I was just trying to normalize like being a fat person and like not feeling like I didn't exist or I shouldn't get to exist. And I've been candid that like my mom has an eating disorder. She very much bulimic, anorexic type vibes, and she very much was raised in like the 70s. And so she definitely is a person that will eat crackers and tuna fish for dinner, you know? And so I just want to be candid that like my mom always saw me as like too big, like always. And the fatter I got, the more it became a problem, like that I existed as a fat person. And I think like I told a story like a few months ago that I'm gonna just tell again because like honestly, it's something that I have forgotten because I blocked it out because it was just really distressing. But I remember like my senior year of high school, I had bought some weight loss pills. Yeah, I had like I want to say like it got up to like 37,000 followers, which is pretty cool. But I was never like counting like that. Like I only remember because I'm still on Tumblr now. But yeah, like I think people appreciated that I was a fat bitch. I was goofy as fuck, and I was constantly posting about myself all the time. Because like honestly, I think in retrospect, like I was neglected. Like I wasn't given, like I wasn't loved properly. So like, yeah, like I go online and people think I'm cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out here a long time. I'm gonna take a lot of pictures. I'm gonna invest in this heavily because it's giving me something. And so with that being said, like I don't think I ever really understood what was happening online. I think I was just getting like that dopamine hit of like, ooh, a notification, ooh, like someone giving a fuck. And that's what it was for me. Like that's what it was for a long time. I think at this point now I realize that like this is a lot of things. Like one thing that I'm realizing is I have absolutely been able to come here and talk in a way that I probably should have talked to a therapist. I'm realizing that now. Oh, yeah. Realizing that. So I am trying to be more mindful about coming here and being like super like fucking overtly verbose about, because there's info dumping and then there's trauma dumping. And again, I feel like I've definitely trauma dumped here. I'm not gonna shy away from that reality. Like I've definitely trauma dumped here. And again, I was not intending to traumatize people, but I think at the same time, I don't think I thought I could. I think I thought like y'all already know I come from like loam, like y'all already know I come from like a roach's home. So it's like, of course I'm gonna tell you roach home stories. In retrospect though, yeah, I didn't have the emotional intelligence to realize like what was happening here, and like I still probably don't all the way. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I still probably don't realize like all that's happening. mm. Yeah, no, I haven't been posting on like Tumblr like the most, but like I feel like at some point in time people did appreciate me on the internet, and I was glad, and I feel like still now there are people that still appreciate me, and I'm still glad now. But I never had any dreams of like being anything. My boyfriend gave me a camera because I think he was annoyed with me talking to him so much. And so I started talking to you guys so much. And then it worked out for me. And then my boyfriend was very jealous. It was very hilarious. He very much hated the YouTube shit, very much hated it. I'm glad I kept y'all. In a retrospect, I'm glad that I kept this and like I didn't like switch up, but he was very upset that I was like making YouTube videos, which is funny because he actually bought me like marshmallow.com. Like at first he was just like very much invested, but I think he started like realizing like, bitch, and you love James Earl Jones. And you love James Earl Jones. Clearly. You still here. You kicking it. You and the crew. Just sit down and eat your snack. Like you don't gotta do too much. You can just eat your snack. I'm gonna eat my snack. You don't have to fight. It's not that deep, I promise you. If you eat your snack, I'm gonna eat my snack. But yeah, anyways. But she should need a little bit of mozzarella and some basil, like low key. That would have really gave. Would have really gave. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think what the fuck else I was talking about. Um, but yeah, no, I don't think I was like ever like trying to influence anyone. I just was like a fat person who finally could buy clothes for themselves. I don't think people realize like I came from nothing and I literally was able to use a credit card to buy fat bitch clothes and then put them on, and people thought something was happening. That's amazing. Did I believe something was happening? No, I didn't. I didn't think that at all. I just thought I look cute. People like to see me look cute. That's great. But I think as I look back, I'm like, damn, like I was really out here. Like, but again, I think about the ways that, there's somebody out there right now. There's some young girl, some 17-year-old just like me, online, like, 19 years old, just like me, online, like trying to be liked, trying to get people to care about them. And maybe it works. But I think I don't know. I don't think everybody realizes that like getting on the internet is really it's a mixed bag. Like you really don't know like how people are gonna receive you. You also don't know how you're gonna change. And so the ways that you're sharing online is gonna shift. Like I don't care when you start, you're not gonna do the same shit as in the beginning. And then also, you really don't know who's going to be attracted to your content. You really don't know who's going to be the supporters or the lovers or even the people that show up for you. Like, you're really not going to know these people because it's the internet. And so, but I think what's wild is like how like people I do not know from a can of fucking paint have been so much more supportive than people I have seen in real life and knew I was sharing content, knew I was existing online. It's the way that like as somebody said, we're becoming more digital, or like humanity is becoming more digital. I can't remember exactly what was said, but it's the way that like at this point now, you know, it's the way without digital media, like how alone would some of us really be? And I think about that now. Like how what how many people would I have actually met in my life if I didn't have the internet? You know, like what would I have done? Like where would I have gone? Everything in my life that's happened has been because of the internet's existence. Like if I have to really think about it, like being trapped with my mom, no internet. I'm really trying to imagine that because I remember what it was like before the internet, like before like you know you could really be online because like I didn't have any money, so I didn't have the internet in my house for a while. But the ways I'd go to my friend's house just to be on their laptop, like or on their computer, like just like not only that obviously, but like that's what we would do all day is sit on the laptop and like go do stuff online. And again, the ways that at some point we're doing dating sites, we're doing MySpace, Facebook, like we're meeting up, and the ways that like you can just meet somebody from the internet, and the ways that like that now is hilarious. Now it's like really funny to meet someone from the internet, but there was a time where it was kind of exciting. Now it's just like now I just have dread. Like now I'm kind of scared, which sounds probably insane for some of y'all, because you're like, bitch, you've been on online dating forever. I know, but there's been a change in the last decade. The ASL era was amazing. Bitch, I miss AIM so much. Like, ugh. There was some cool shit going on down there. I don't know what it was about AIM, but it was so fun. But yeah, no, it really feels like dating online feels so much scarier. And again, I just met a man a few months ago from a dating site that I'm still dealing with. So I'm not trying to make it seem like it's impossible to meet people that we can appreciate. What I'm trying to offer though is like, I recently went on dating apps just to like try to find connections with people. Cause like, as I said, I love Dane, love him down. I am slightly afraid that like I've been socialized to be too kind to a man in a living space, and I've just decided that I would much rather live with some bitches, like a pack of bitches, you know, like maybe like some really crafty bitches, because like honestly it's the way I want a sewing machine. It's just like I have so many things I don't want to do. I would love it if me and Dane could like meet up for dinner. Like I just feel like at this point like I'm super understanding that like I don't necessarily need to cuddle with a man every day. I probably will. I don't need to. I probably will. But with that being said, like I like the idea of like me seeing him and more intentionally, because it's like, man, there's just moments where I just feel like we're not connecting, and I feel like if we didn't live together, we probably would have more intentional connection. But at this point, it just feels like we're on different sleep schedules. We're doing completely different shit. And we're still hanging out, but it's still like, you know, if we didn't live together, it might be more fun. Live journal is so cute. Oh my god, bitch. Bitch, mine was so emo. I think it was called like Somebody Broke Me, and I think it oh my god, bitch. I'm gonna try to find mine. You just inspired me, bitch. Damn, live journal. Bitch, the way it would let you pick the song. Low key. I'm like, ugh. I'm fucking screaming. Cause it's the way that I know I was like 17. Wow, thank you so much. Cause I'll be in there writing for real. Like this is before making little videos. I want to find my first Snapchat. Like that's low key what I want. I want to find my first Snapchat so bad. mm. Mm. I hear you, babe. Listen. The way Live Journal had all my true super sad emo thoughts. Damn. You know what? I actually had a moment today. Like I was playing a bunch of songs from one of my favorite bands. The band is called Bright Eyes. The singer's name is Connor Oberst. I'm not gonna say that everyone gonna fuck with it, but I'll say this: if you want a playlist, let me know. Cause I feel like, from my perspective, I feel like he's got many bangers, but I feel like songs that are like really pointed. Like he has this one song about George Bush called "When the President Talks to God." And I love it because again, like it was a song that radicalized me in 5th grade. Like I literally saw the Twin Towers get hit and I still knew fuck George. Like I still was like, okay, but this don't mean we gotta have a war, bitch. And just the ways that like, I feel like the music from that artist allowed me to access things that were happening externally, internally, if that makes sense. Like there were moments where his music really allowed me to scream and cry in a way that I knew I could never. And it's just the way that when you grow up in an abusive household, it's the way that they say things to you like, I'm gonna give you something to cry about, and they already did. Or the ways that, you'll the ways that you'll be beaten and they'll tell you to hush your crying. They don't want to hear all that noise. It's the way that like you're literally taught to self-contain trauma and grief, and motherfuckers expect you to be a whole person at some point. And so I think about how like I found this artist through this girl that I was in art class with. And I think we talked about how I like to cry to music because that was the only way I could cry. Like I literally didn't feel like I could just cry. Like it just didn't come to me. I know some of y'all are like, bitch, you cry all the time. Yeah, now I had to work to do that. Like I literally didn't have it. And some people be thinking like they broken or something. No, bitch. They probably told you to stop crying. On some Ella Enchanted bitch. On some Ella Enchanted bitch. They done told you to stop crying, and now you've taught yourself not to cry no more. You're being obedient in a way that's again, it's detrimental to you, but you're not in charge. And I think about that too, about how some of us are living with people that we know they're in charge, whether or not they're paying for the house or allowing us to stay or whatever the case may be. Just the ways that like you're some of us like we were born but we not free from that person. Like we're literally like we're treated like a leaf on a tree of a person. And again, the ways that some of us are going to spend the rest of our fucking life trying to be a main character, not because we're not main characters, but because we have been taught that we are a secondary character and that our emotional needs are fucking not that fucking deep. So yeah, it makes sense that a lot of us are like not sure how the fuck to handle our emotions or are dysregulated or need some kind of stimulus to achieve that emotion. Like some people like really break a bunch of shit. I'm not saying like in their house, but some people may need to skip a rock. Some people may need to like do some pottery. Like some people have to actually physically move into grief. And I'm bringing this up because as I'm like listening to Bright Eyes earlier with Dane, I'm like reading all the comments from these people, And all these people were like, like I was able to like really heal like from this music. And I think about how like music is, it's not just about artists, it's music. It's like somebody saying something over a melody, over an instrument that is so close to your experience, that is just so spot on to what you're experiencing. And it so connects that you can scream it and it feels stronger. It feels more powerful. And the ways that again, music can allow us to escape. Music can bring us to new worlds. Like music can really do a lot for us. And I think about how like if I didn't have this chat, if I didn't have certain albums, certain songs, certain poetry, like sweetie, like I don't know. Hmm. I can't even finish the sentence. Like there's nothing that like I don't exist. I don't exist. And I think about how like some stuff, like some art, some creation like really does make it possible for you to keep on going. Like there's some shit that you've experienced. There's some shit that you've experienced that really had you like, I don't know, like I don't know if I want to keep going. Like this last experience was quite enough. And the way someone could tell you like it's not done, bitch. Keep going. Or I felt that too. Let me share with you what I felt. And I'm gonna still keep feeling more shit. Like the way that the music just can reassure you in a way that you can really take with you. It's like little digital therapy wizards, fairies, I don't know. But like I said, if I didn't have access to talk to people directly and candidly about some of the shit that's happened, or even hear other people's candid thoughts about some of the shit that's happened to them, all of that was necessary. And I know, I am not where I want to be 100%, but I don't give a fuck. It's never too late to be grateful, bitch. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, you ain't gotta be to the place you're hoping to get before you acknowledge, like, damn, at least I'm walking. Like, at least I'm seeing progress. Like, at least I'm, aware that like there had to be something to pour into for me to pour it back out. So again, it's just the way that like if I could just recommend a song because they're gonna copyright me, bitch, and I don't want this one to get blocked. Bowl of oranges, bitch. Honestly, and I feel like the last verse I dedicated to y'all. I'm not gonna sing it to you because I'm gonna cry, but I dead ass feel like that song and the spirit is just very much where I'm at. Like I just feel like sometimes we don't really know what we could do for someone. We don't really know how we can contribute, how we can share, how we can be, there. And it's just being present. It's literally just showing up. And so the ways that like some of y'all have like again broke the fourth wall, reached out, said hey, like met me in real life, like ate with me, like hung out at my house, like just the ways that like people from the chat are not just like some NPC, some random strings of code, like y'all are real alive people, me too. And the ways that again, that's why the TikTok ban hurt. Because people know they weren't just talking to code, they were talking to real people. There were real connections being made there. And there was real everything. And the ways that they thought they could just turn the light switch on and off. The way they thought that they could just disappear these people, scatter them. Again, like the ways that like the lack of support that we're being shown as like a standard. So I appreciate all of y'all for just again, just being present because that is what it's gonna take to move forward. I'm not saying there's not other shit, but a basis is gonna be us at least acknowledging we need each other. I truly believe like the colonizer, like The master is masterful. But I don't think the colonizer thought for a moment that we would trade shame for community. I don't think he thought a bitch would be sitting up here with sweet potato titties with the whatever, did a little flat twist, a little flat twist. But they didn't see this. They did not see this. They did not think this. They thought we would be trying to do clean girl blogs and come watch me fill up these giant glass jars full of expensive cookies you could never afford. They thought we would sit in our fucking houses, look in a square, and covet our fucking neighbors, whatever the fuck they showed us. And what? Live in hell? It's hilarious, to be honest, when you really think about like what we've been watching online. Like, why would we sit back? Why would we recline? Again, it's just a way that I think they thought they put enough, they sprinkled enough in the food this time. This way they thought that they sprinkled enough in the air this time. I don't know, bitch. I truly do believe, though, there's a lot of us that are pulling ourselves out, believing in harm reduction, believing in community care, believing in buy nothing, believing in bartering, believing in trades. You know what, Patrick? I'll say this. I think that TikTok is not different from real life. In the real world, if people think you're attractive, they're going to treat you better. It's fucked up. It's weird. I don't disagree with you that people being bombarded with a lot of attention online can definitely shift their behavior. I can agree with that. I have lived that life. I've definitely had people care about me, and it went to my head. It absolutely made me feel like I was more important. I was so important. And unfortunately, I was not able to see that I wasn't necessarily important because people were perceiving me. I was not emotionally intelligent enough to understand that people were valuing me in community, that people were appreciating me. I didn't think about it like that because, again, when I was coming up on the internet, we're talking about followers, we're talking about subscribers, we're talking about people pouring into you. It seemed in the past one-sided. Now I'm noticing that people are being very candid about who they're watching and like how they're feeling about contributing to this or that person's success. We're in a different time now, and I definitely want to hold that like there definitely was a time where it was more creator focused. Now it's about everybody being here and not discounting anyone because they're not necessarily a creator yet. That's so sad, Alterel. I appreciate you for saying that because, again, like some of the people that were saying that, I think, like, unfortunately, some people like to make it seem like nothing matters and, they didn't care. And I think that those people, unfortunately, are, I don't want to do too much, but I do think that sometimes we can be in certain types of survival mode or trauma responses. And I think like it makes me think of when like, you reject something or you say you don't want something and someone says, well, you can't have it. It was very much giving that. It's very much like, it's gone. So right now, right now you can say you don't care. It's gone. Like some people just want to be able to say something that's powerful for them, that makes them feel like they're taking their power back. They can say something. And again, sometimes there's really nothing to say. And I'm trying to lean into that too. Like sometimes like I do want to come here and hang out, but sometimes I'm just like, let's just feel this silence. You feel me? Let's just sit in this silence a little bit. Like, let's just sit in this, like, we don't know what to say. Because again, like, I truly believe like moving forward, I think that that's a big thing to be saying, especially white people, especially us non-Black people. Like there's just moments where we have to be like, I actually don't know. Because if we don't start saying that we don't know, it's going to be so much harder. Again, like there's so many people who will ask lighter skin and white people all these questions, and it's like we don't have all the answers, and we really need to get good at like passing that on, like passing it on that we don't know. That actually to know certain stuff, we'd have to experience it, and then also just the ways that like some questions like we really have to just push that like we actually don't know. Just again, so people can hold. I'm crying. But listen, I appreciate y'all for just being here and supporting in any way, shape, or form. I know that this has been a bumpy fucking wild ass ride in general, but I think that the focus should absolutely be on Black folk, Indigenous folk, folk who are here in America, who are non-white, because there's been a Nazi salute. Like Elon really popped out on some Hitler shit, and I don't believe for a minute that Donald Trump is lucid. Like just like Biden, I truly believe was just sitting up there holding the seat warm for Kamala. I truly believe that Donald Trump is trying to make sure Elon gets it next. Mark my words. And between me and you, I'm actually seeing that Kamala Biden shit a little different now. Because what's going to happen when Trump gets sick? What's going to happen? He looked terrible. He does not look like he's long for this world. And so that's why I'm just like, Kamala being pushed up into the primary, I have a bad feeling, bitch. I have a bad feeling that they're going to be like, well, Elon could be next. I hate to say that, but I have a bad feeling. I just have a real bad feeling. I just do not believe that Elon put all that money to get where he's at. He's not about to do nothing. Caleb, thank you so much for telling me that smoking is bad for me. I'm going to keep on choosing to be bad, but you be good. AOC. Man. And that's the thing. I would have Michelle Obama about to run, because it's the way that Michelle said she wasn't going to the inauguration, and I was kind of here for it, but there's also a part of me that's like, sweetie, are you trying to tell us something? Because between me and you, like, she is a former first lady breaking tradition. There's a part of me that feels like this could be a setup for the next one. I'm not mad if she goes for it. I do wonder what that's gonna look like though. Lowe's the keys, because I know she is a Capricorn. And so as a Capricorn, there's a part of me that's like, Michelle, there's a tiny part of me that's like, I hope not. Here's my thing, Mango. I don't want her to do anything. What I'm trying to offer though is like I feel like you can look at her not going to the inauguration in two ways. You can look at it as one, she already knows what time it is and she's not about to play with this. Or two, or also she may want to be president. And low key, I feel like there's something that's like kind of fly about her trying to be a president if that does happen. I just want to be the bitch that said it. If Michelle ends up like running, like, it'll be a cute little moment to look back on, but I just feel like she's the only person who said fuck them. Everybody else went, right? So you know what, Alterell, here's my thing. You said you're done with politics for the next 4 years. I mean, no shade when I say this, but good fucking luck, friend. It just feels like it's about to get the most political now because we're actively in a war. I'm not sure if people are paying attention, and honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you're not. And I'm only telling you because, bitch, I feel like if I don't say it out loud, I feel complicit. Like, that's where I'm at, bitch. Like, I feel like I be reading certain shit, and I be like, oh, let me bring this up. But yeah, Greenland about to be under attack, bitch. They coming for them motherfucking oil reserves. Like that's another thing that's funny. We're not funny. But in the midst of all this climate change, there are new resources being made available because of polar ice caps melting. Unfortunately, there is no way to know how that is going to affect us. And yet, because we're in a capitalist system, we just keep on building taller and wider. And we are changing the world in a very terrible way. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I know the earth has I know societies have started over and over again. Like I know that like things have ended and restarted, but I think about how I think about how we're 2030 or 2025 years from zero, right? And I'm like, are we about to be back at zero? Like that's all I keep thinking. It's like, are we going back to zero? Because I think about how, as I said many times, the future is indigenous. We're not going to space. We're not. We're really not going to space, and that's what makes it so scary that we have a lack of care about the world we live in. Because if we can't leave the planet, then it becomes more and more important. Mm, mm. You know what, Quantum? Thank you for saying that. And again, I feel like even complicity probably is like the wrong word, but it's kind of like when we were talking about like TikTok, and I was saying that like part of like the TikTok ban is also all the abuse that's being captured, right? And so I think about that too. I think about how there are people online right now harvesting videos of child abuse, making long format videos. And I'm like, at what point are you downloading videos of a child being abused and you're not just sending them to like child protective services in the local area? Like, again, it's just there's moments where I'm just like, man, what kind of world are we going to be living in? But we're already living in it. We're living in a world where, like, it is profitable to not only film your child while you're abusing them, but for someone else to cover the story. And again, the ethics of that and the way in the comments, like, there's all these think pieces, but not one person saying, you know, this video should just have been sent directly to CPS. Like, a lot of people just won't hold that, like, there's harm. 1, 2, 3, how you doing, boo? Hope you're having a good night. Night, day. I don't know what I just said. And Alterel, here's my thing. I don't I can't imagine anybody really wants to be paying attention right now. I can't imagine that's our true desire to be like focused in on what's happening in American politics or global politics rather. I can't imagine that's anyone's real desire right now. So I really hope nobody pushes themselves to like be more invested or care too much more because I can't even imagine. I can't. Like I'm so grateful that I do not have to fucking work a 9 to 5. Like I could not imagine having to go to work and look at white people. Like yo, and it's the way like I've been avoiding white people looking at me in my eyes. Like it's like I've been just like looking away because it's like I don't want to make eye contact. I don't want to perform. I don't want to do the I don't want to do the fake smile to you, bitch. I don't. And it's awkward because I keep feeling them trying to like get me to look at them. Like I keep feeling white people trying to like get my gaze. And it's like, nah, dog. Cause it's like I just feel so underprepared to talk to anybody white. And I also feel like as white supremacy is exposed and also taken to task a la DEI, even though I know it's been rolled back, that still was a moment. And that moment really pissed a lot of white people off. A lot of white people just didn't believe that anybody of color was suffering at all. And so, again, like the danger of being alive in this time is something that's going to be under communicated about and underreported. Like, because we live in a white supremacist world, the threat of white people is not on the radar of anybody in the global fucking media sphere. And so when we don't hear or see Black people anywhere, not that anybody Black is supposed to be updating us on what's happening with anti-Blackness, but the lack of candor, the lack of seeing Black voices, just period, just communicating, just existing, that is what is dangerous, as well as the reality of the threat that is unfolding. And so with that being said, there's no way, because of all the silencing of the most marginalized, that any of us are getting an accurate read on anything unfolding right now. And so again, my desire to like not come here earlier was not even just like the distress, it's also the sacred silence of all my faves. All of my faves are really just like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. They're doing their thing. They're having a good time. They're not worried. And again, it's the way that I have to hold, that I'm waiting for marginalized people to tell me their thoughts. And it's like, do I really need that? I do. But it's also like, I know what's happening is fucked up. I don't necessarily need to wait for them to say that. But I'm also trying to hold that, just the ways that like so many of us are like, what's next? And again, just me having to hold that like nobody Black is existing to be saving the world or be telling people what to do next or like where to go or what to think. Like, it's a privilege that we get to perceive anybody Black online. If you really think about it historically, the fact that anybody Black allows anyone to listen to their thoughts and give feedback or even engage, it's very wild. It's like there are so many Black folks that could really just be like, and I'm gonna keep my motherfucking intelligence to myself. Again, the way that Black folks have blessed the world and people still act like there's more that is owed is really fucked. And so again, I'm trying to offer that. I'm looking to see what people are feeling, not to be like, okay, now this is how we talk about it, but I am looking to see like who is feeling and emoting. And a lot of Black women that I follow are just like, and I'm like, I hear you. Meanwhile, I saw one of the first videos in a long time made by a white person that actually had me like, well, thank fuck, you know? I've shared it in my community post, but it was a white woman being candid about how, like, you know, white people really need to start creating spaces to be candid about their racism and also, like, be candid about how they don't fucking know shit. And they're hurt and they're sad and they're angry. Like, again, like this white person being like, hey, we need to remove ourselves from general population in ways so that we can fucking talk about like how fucked up we are. But there's also a tiny part of me that feels like I slightly want to interject and be like, you know, I don't think y'all deserve privacy. And maybe that's fucked up. But there's a part of me that's like, I'd actually like to see y'all in public. I'd actually like to see you actually pay for a website so we can see conversations unfold. Because it's like, I don't, like, this is going to sound how it sounds, but I don't believe that I am, like, better or more aware of colorism. I don't think that I've graduated. I don't think that I'm, like, unlearning super fast. Like, I don't think any of that. What I truly think is that I'm still fucking up. And I'm not saying that as, like, I want to be fucking up. I'm just saying, like, I still need support around unlearning. I'm still unlearning. I'm forever unlearning. I'm steady sitting with certain things that I said just last week. Just things that, again, people may not sit with, but the ways that we use the word light in order to mean easy or not that deep, the ways we use the word dark to mean something sinister or something ungood. Again, the ways that like we talk can be quite awful. And so I never want to make it seem like I'm done learning or I've unlearned to a certain degree. I haven't. So with that being said, I'm not saying white people don't deserve privacy because I'm trying to be dehumanizing. What I'm offering is, as a lighter skinned person, I don't think I ever need to be alone with another light skinned person and talking about how we're both light skinned. I don't think that's gonna help us. I don't think that's gonna help us. And again, I'm not saying that I require a dark skinned person to volunteer as tribute to help me. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm offering is when white people say they need to be alone with their thoughts, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And again, I've definitely tried to talk to fellow light skinned people, and sometimes, you know, it's slightly productive, and then other times it's very bizarre. So again, I don't suggest anybody, put themselves amongst people that are oppressive and are not at least in a space to, acknowledge that like they don't have anything to offer. Again, I'm just trying to offer that like I'm not sure that white people going off alone. It's very much giving like, why do y'all think y'all gonna be able to help each other? And again, I'm saying this from my own experience, thinking that like, like I used to think like, oh, I want to find other light skinned people to talk to about colorism, and it's like, eesh, that's been goofy because it's the way I've had fellow light skinned people just like try to make me feel like I'm doing too much or telling me that I'm like, what was it? Like it was like something, it was something very weird. I can't remember what they called me, but they were trying to basically say that, I was ashamed of being light skinned or some shit. And I was like, what? I was like, where did y'all get that from? Like I was very confused. I was like, what has told you that I was ashamed of being light skinned? So I don't know. I've seen some shit. Okay. You know what, Patrick? I appreciate you for being candid. One thing that I would suggest maybe is looking for, like, maybe type in 26-year-old black man and maybe listen to someone who is like your peer in age. There might be a 26-year-old black man who's talking about that very topic. But if I'm being super candid with you, Patrick, it does not seem like you're really invested in learning. It feels like you're more invested in telling me where you're at. And I appreciate you. If you're 26 years old and you personally think something about black people, and again, you're white, so I just want you to just sit with that. You have a thought about black people. You're white. You're 26, and you think it makes sense to be in the life of a mixed person. Uh, you know, asking, what's up with racism, home diggity's home skillet? Like, that's what you're asking me. You're asking me to give you a rundown on why black folks are, and that's the other thing too. It's like, like anti-blackness existing doesn't even speak to how all black folks are not in agreement. Like that's the other layer to this. Is like white folk talk about black folks in this broad ass idea as if everyone black is on the same accord. So fascinating. But again, the way white people speak, it's the way they're on the same accord. It's the way they say blacks. It's the way that they do that. And again, I'm preferring to sit and ask more questions of white people because I want them in their mind to allow themselves to break the illusion. Because it makes me think of Bell Hooks. She said, a white person will meet a black person that doesn't meet any of the stereotypes they believe around black people. And instead of saying, wow, I'm being narrow minded, wow, I'm being anti black, they will say, that black person is exceptional. Very much the movie Django vibes. Like instead of noticing that everybody is a human and has full capacity and personhood, you're going to single out this person and think, here's the thing, Patrick. It's not about calling me a black person. And Patrick, I can tell at this point that you're just trying to be like offering rage bait. And one thing I would love to stress to you, because again, I can tell you're a real human who's typing things out. maybe today would be a good day to just type in reading list for Black Politico and maybe go from there. Maybe look up Afro pessimism reading list. Maybe look up Massage and War reading list. That might be a good place to start because I don't think I can help. I've definitely attempted, but I'm willing to say that it's above what I'm able to offer. So I hope you have a good night and maybe no more trolling tonight. Maybe dead ass go read for real, because it's clear that you really want somebody to engage with you, perhaps in bad faith. And I'm just not willing to do it. Like, again, I know that it can be funny to make fun of white people. Don't get me wrong. I love to make fun of white people every now and then. It can be a good time. But in this moment, I'm just so... It's the way white people want to show right now. It's the way they want somebody going back and forth with them. It's the way they want to get called a racist. It's the way they want us to really expound on anti-blackness. Sweetie, if you're not there right now, like if you are not somewhere right now where you can educate yourself, that's real. But it is just the way that white people really want to fight right now. And again, it makes me think of the other day I went to go meet up with somebody who disrespected my time. And I literally heard a fucking police siren. And I thought to myself, some people's behavior is literally to confirm that you're the bully, that you're the fighter, that you're the mean one, you're the bad one. And I really truly feel like that is the energy right now. And it's been like this for a while. I know I'm late, but the vibes very much are, let me show everybody how out of character I can get you. And it feels so fucking delicate because, again, who the fuck don't want to stand up to evil regimes? Who don't want to stand up to Nazis? Like, no brainer. But at the same time, I feel like I fear we must fight strategically, and I hate this shit. Because there's something so performative about it. Because on one hand, I really don't want to put trauma in nobody's body. If you really do feel like you don't see anti-blackness like that, keep looking. I'm not about to get mad at you because you don't see it yet. In fact, you're white. But one thing's for sure, bitch. If they taking black folk in the morning, baby, they're taking you that night. And if you don't see that yet, I am so sorry. If you truly don't see how a lack of standard for care for any human means at some point we're all compromised. And so with that being said, I'm no longer trying to operate as if everybody gonna see everything. Why would you? This is a concerted effort. There's a reason why you stuck at work and be catching the highlights at night, bitch, when you eating your late dinner. This shit is planned. You're not supposed to be too intelligent right now. You're not supposed to be too thoughtful right now. Think about it. Every time you scroll on your phone, something's screaming at you. Every time you watch a video, they got 1,000 pop-ups and ads and shit. Sweetie, you really think you're supposed to be on top of it right now? It's so cruel. It's so many people thinking that they behind, they stupid, they slow, something's wrong with them, just all this fucked up shit. And it's like, every time I turn around, it's something popping up on you on the phone. You can't even watch shit on TV. Bitch, they have found a way to make you pay for streaming apps and still play fucking ads. Like, they created a new poverty tier of Netflix. Like, again, we're not living in a time that's making sense. And it's all the time trying to gaslight you into thinking that this is reasonable. So yeah, it makes sense why the fuck you're not paying attention. No, the psychological warfare is high. It's high. I'm over here getting angry because I'm watching a damn YouTube video and this person trying to do an intro. And I'm over here like, sweetie, you done stole all these TikToks from American TikTok. Because low-key, that's one thing about it. It's like, it's the way that everybody loves stealing Black American people TikTok. and you gotta squint to see who the fuck TikTok it is. Put their fucking name on the shit. You didn't have to do shit. You literally caught a combo happening between 13 different people, long ass videos. You upload all their shit and make money off of it. The least you could do is tag them. Reptar, I'm crying. I don't know who that is, but I love your name. You can't. No, S. Mussolini, I've been felt like that for over 10 years. I've had thoughts that my phone brought up to me. No games. I have thought that for at least 10 years now. I remember being with one of my ex-partners and just being like, there must be a mic in it that's on all the time. Like, again, and this is before you would see the little mic thing pop up for no reason sometimes. But it's the way that, like, duh. You know what I mean? Because hear me out. Like, it's the way that I be watching some of these, I don't know, bitch. It's the way that, like, everybody got a ring cam, but, like, we're also mic'd. Like, there's mics out there. I refuse to believe there's not, like, random mics and cameras. I just refuse. And between me and you, just like on some, like, Christianity shit, I refuse to believe we live in a Christian nation that tells us about a God watching us, and they don't feel like that, you know? Very much true, Michelle. Like, I refuse to believe, like, we're not being monitored and surveilled. And again, the ways that, like, YouTube videos get transcribed now, like, they can easily tell what you're talking about. Like, back in the day, bitch, they did not have all this infrastructure. They were not worried about it. Like, I could make a video where I'm watching 1,000 hours of TV shows with y'all, and they did not give a shit. Now, they tried to give a portion of my YouTube. Like, first of all, they blocked my video, meaning that there was no ads on it, nothing. But they wanted me to give some money to, like, a bunch of music artists. And I was like, girl, like they trying to do the splits with me. I'm like, YouTube, you're hosting the content, you broke bitch. How you gonna charge me for it's in my video? Like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, I don't know. Like, this world getting crazier and crazier, bitch. Also, I don't know if anybody still follows the YouTuber Chrissy. She's a deep dark skin femme who makes a lot of content about deep dark skin women, and just she has a lot of content to offer. But she recently got a content strike for an old ass video, and I'm just getting scared that, like, all the people that I know online who are doing big ass shit, like big shit, they're being fucking attacked. And again, like, meanwhile, my channel, they don't give a shit what I fucking do, bitch. They don't give a fuck what I fucking do. Meanwhile, people writing real shit, making content that's necessary, they're getting fucking striked. Not saying I want to get a strike, bitch. Not saying that. Just saying it's the way that, like, it's the fucking triple standard of being black, intelligent, and motherfucking available. Like, bitch, that part right there, like, being willing to share your expertise, like being willing to share what you know. You know what, Chantel, thank you for saying that. And I don't disagree. Like, again, there's a lot of weird things. No, I don't know who that is. But yeah, no, there's a lot of weird things that the government has done. I remember reading about a bunch of, like, secret experiments, and there was one where, like, they tried to get, like I could be making this up. I want to say that they, like, tried to get mind control over animals or some shit, and, like, they had, like, been giving drugs to, like, squirrels and dogs and shit. Like, they were basically trying to, like, get animals to move up an evolutionary step or some shit. And that shit blew my mind. I'm like, imagine giving some drugs to a squirrel to get it to talk to you or some shit. Like, they're on the drugs. Like, y'all are telling on y'all self. Y'all took them first. Y'all already did a trial on y'all self. But anyways, look, I feel like we can talk about American war crimes and just the experimentations. Like, trust me, like this definitely feels like, it just feels like we're alive in those times where you're just, like it just feels like we're alive in a time where you got all these conspiracies, bitch. Like it's making me think of like after 9/11, bitch. Like, oh my God, that was such a weird time to be alive, bitch. Bitch, Alex Jones, oh my God, bitch. He really sucked me in for a little bit. I'm so embarrassed to say that. But I used to really think Alex Jones was saying something, bitch, in like the early 2000s area. Yeah, bitch, I was fucking sucked in. So with that being said, do your research, look into things, pay attention. You're not wrong. You're not crazy. Um, yeah. Palestine changed their views on 9/11. Oh, I don't disagree. Like, I feel like the idea that 9/11, like, the reaction to that, to the Middle East, it's like, girl, just be real. You wanted to steal these people resources. Like, America's such a fucking bully. Like, oh, they had threw that rock, so I had thrown that nuclear bomb. And it's just like, there's no, okay, like, it's just like we live in the Fire Nation. We are causing the harm and hiding our hands and having the nerve to go on TV like, look at how they living. Like, we literally are such weird bitches. Like, so that's why I just remember like after the TikTok ban, someone from like the United Kingdom said, hey, now that the Americans are gone, how about we start adding each other? Because have y'all noticed like our shit kind of dead? And it don't gotta be. We are rich, diverse people without them. And I was crying because I was like, sweetie, like what does it look like to be, you know? What does it look like to be the girl that got kicked out the group because she was being a bitch? Sweetie, I know what that's like. That shit isolating, but it's important. It's a motherfucking moment, bitch. Honestly, when the girlies don't fuck with you because you ain't right within and you thought you was gonna win. I just really hope that America does her therapy. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that she gets on her Zoom. Like I just hope she does right by herself because real talk, like it's one thing for all your ops to be like against you. It's another thing for for bitches within. Cause think about it, the people and external forces don't fuck with the government. It's getting spicy, girl. The girls are fighting, and like I see it for us. Like I see it for us on some other shit because Americans are really like, bitch, if you ever just look at some of these protests, girl, we could get real nasty here, bitch. And I feel like with COVID and masks and shit like that, like I feel like it could get real nasty and real critical, but I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like, and this is gonna sound how it sounds, but if we're running up, if it's the end of the earth, I think we need to invest in more covertness. So as I said, I've been trying to get the Discord together, but I'm not playing. Like before February, I'm trying to get this shit together by February, bitch. Cause I don't want to just be like leaving all this content out here like this. Like I feel like some conversations need to happen with protection, and I haven't been thinking like that. Cause bitch, I don't even want to go all the way into it, but I ain't really seen it for everything, bitch. I was just kind of like, hey, and now I'm just like, defense, defensive measures. So, with that being said, I love all of y'all. I fuck with all of y'all. I hope that everyone is trying to get enough rest, snacks, water, and please call your friends, text your friend, let people know you need to talk because it is not going to be okay for you to just be stuck in the house or just too idle. I also want to say I was on Omegle for a little bit, Omegle. It's fun in ways. I definitely smoked some weed with some random people. Um, listen, I've said this before. I grew up in group homes and foster care. Like I've had to like learn how to live with like a bunch of random different people. And so I really do think that like the people that we need to talk to right now are people that have been, living in group homes, living in foster care, people who have maybe been in prison. Like there's a lot of people that have intelligence on how to get through this shit right now. And it's unfortunate because they're the most marginalized and just not the most disenfranchised folks. So, but I want to say that to say that like we're alive. Like some of us who have gone through extreme grief, some of us who have complex PTSD, like we're going to be the ones that are showing up in this time and reminding you like we still got this, and we're gonna take breaks too. We're gonna know when we don't got this, but we know what it's like to not die. And I think that that's a part of uh, experiencing grief. You learn that you're not going to die. And I think that that can be such a hard thing for some of us that can be a more depressing thing, that sad things happen and we're going to survive through it. But I invite folks to consider that, there is no purpose to being alive and we get to choose it, we get to make it. And so right now, I like to think that some of us are choosing, community, that's the point. The point is everyone. The point is our planet continuing. The point is existing in a way that doesn't feel so distressing and debilitating. And so, with that being said, like, please don't give more than what you got. Check in with yourself. If you got it to talk on the phone with a friend, cool. If all you got is some music and some weeping, please don't hold back. Like, I think in this time, it's really important for us to get the yells out, the dances out. Like, please, like, use your body to move this energy around, if possible. Definitely call your homies though. Definitely call your friends. Definitely check in with people that you haven't heard from in a while. Harm reduction, you feel me? Eat something tasty, masturbate. Like there's just so many things you can do to kind of shift the moment. But don't don't feel like you don't need to feel. Like please don't feel like not feeling is necessary. And I know, we're in Aquarius season. You see how they hold that pot of grits. I know you see the way Aqua holds that pot of grits. Just remember, friends. Just remember, friends. Like don't like holding our emotions, holding life outside of us, being detached from creation. Just consider we don't have to detach to the point where we really don't be feeling shit. It's okay to feel. It's okay to be let down, feel betrayed, feel enraged. Please do not give away your emotions to other people. Don't project them onto other people. Hold them. Hold on to that emotion. If you're distressed, listen. It's not even about being the strong ones. It's also about being resilient. I feel like that's the thing. Like when you died emotionally before, you definitely have something to offer the collective, and that's more what I'm trying to offer. Some of us have never died emotionally. I'm not saying that you need to. I'm just saying that when you've had to bring yourself back from the dead, you're gonna have a little bit of a gift of resurgence. So with that being said, like I know y'all seen my ass die a couple times. I know some of y'all ain't even believe I died. I have. I have absolutely died. Like I've absolutely not. I'm not who you met before. Like I'm just not. And I can't be. And I think about how like grief does change us. It doesn't allow us at times to be as it doesn't allow us to believe all the time. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes you just know, and belief can be such a luxury to be believing in something. Like sometimes you just don't know enough and that's why you still believe. And then sometimes you know too much to ever believe again. And so again, with that being said, I've definitely died. I know a lot of us have in ways, but there are some people out here that don't know what it's like to struggle like this, like we're going to struggle. We have a man in office who is a predator, an abuser, a billionaire, a sociopath, a narcissist, an actual psychopath, Probably a killer. Let's be real. Probably a kidnapper. Like, let's be fucking real, bitch. Like, the shit that we know he did. Ooh, man. Like, don't feel like it's not crazy. It's very insane. It's bizarre. One of the most bizarre experiences, but I feel like his first presidency, same thing, but this one feels more bizarre. This one feels more bizarre. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for like letting me rant and talk mad shit. Cause like I said, I feel like I definitely need to call my friends, but you know, most of my friends are black women and I'm not trying to stress them out anymore. They're all focused on their peace. I'm trying to think of white people to talk to and they're all bitch. And I'm not even checking on them, to be honest with you. I know that's probably shady, but it's like I don't. Damn. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I can't bring this to every motherfucking body, bitch. I'm gonna be real with you. I cannot. And I don't want to. I don't want to talk to anybody white about this. I don't. Again, I don't want to waste my time or theirs, bitch. Like, what are they gonna tell me? Like, what other white person gonna really tell me right now? Again, like, I wish majority of white people would hold, like, you have nothing to offer right now other than support, money, energy, time. There's actually so much, actually. But it's the way that they want to do everything but what the fuck is needed. And then if you say some shit like this, it's the way that they want to be like, and see, you're racist. And it's like, no. Fuck. Damn. Shit is so cruel, bitch. Like, I'm watching videos from 10 years ago. I'm talking about the same shit. And it feels worse. And I know that's not even true. It's been bad. Like, even the idea of worse. Even, bitch, what a fucking crime. I'm sorry, I'm smoking one more, bitch. I almost left too. I almost fucking left. But I just started thinking about Barack Obama, bitch. I'm literally watching Barack Obama sit next to Trump. And I'm like, bitch, you know how fucking crazy it is that you're sitting next to this motherfucker? This motherfucker said you was from Africa, you bitch. You're a whole biracial. Like, and you sit next to him. Like, I'm sorry, but like Barry sitting next to him was crazy as fuck. Like, that shit was crazy. And again, the way that no one cares. The way that motherfucker went from hope and change. I just feel like, bitch, and I mean this with so much disrespect, but they found the perfect first black president. And when I say they, I mean the powers that be, that knew good and goddamn well him being raised by them white people in Hawaii meant he did not give too much of a fuck. Like they knew. They knew he was gonna play ball. There was no fucking doubt about it. And it's the way that I remember so many people crying about Barack. So I know some people think I'm doing too much. That's fucking fine. It's the way that, like, it's the way that it don't matter. But birtherism shit did not matter. He was sitting next to this ugly motherfucker too. And again, motherfuckers being like, oh, you don't know them? They're celebrities. They're all in cahoots. It's like, okay. But that is a wild optic. Like, again, I know some people will think it's fine that Barack sat next to Trump. I don't give a shit. That shit's crazy as fuck. Again, in the context of America and what Barack Obama's presidency looked like to the outside world, because clock that. Like people were really not thinking about Barack being biracial. And again, in the climate we live in today, I understand it's a different conversation, but Barack Obama is absolutely part of the conversation and always has been. He is absolutely a manifestation of the one drop rule. Like, let's be so fucking for real. Barack Obama is absolutely like when people think of biracial people, they do not think of the Baracks. They do not think of the Baracks. They don't. They do not. They do not think of the Baracks. And again, because Barack's father is from Africa, he probably had way less admixture. So he probably is closer, maybe not 50-50. I feel like Barack is probably a 60-40 like me. No tea, no shade. But with that being said, I don't think his black father had any white admixture really. And so, yeah, he looks more like me, an MGM person, someone who's multi generationally mixed. But he looks like that because, again, his black ancestry is absolutely less diluted than somebody who might be a biracial today with a mixed parent. So, with all of that being said, though, I do think that it's necessary to acknowledge that I know Barack Obama was not the first black president, but the idea that he was is part of why we're here too. Like the ways that like people really thought like hope and change meant something real. The ways that people are confused. How we went from Barack to Trump. And at this point, bitch, I'm seeing this shit as something way deeper. That Trump was always supposed to agitate Barack to get to this moment. He was always supposed to be an anti-black pundit poking at people. He was always supposed to be someone who was questioning the first black president. And even the idea of invoking that he was not American and he's a birther and just all that shit was so fucking fascinating because again, it's the way that Barack Obama is again, it's just a very American tale. You know what I mean? Of a white woman and a black man in America. You know what I mean? Like they could, or not even in America, bitch. Like fuck the occupation of Hawaii, but still, like it's the ways that like the Barack Obama story is just so cherry picked. Again, the way that Barack Obama's story is told, it's just so obvious. Like he was necessary for what they were planning on doing. Because again, the way that Barack can sit right there with motherfucking Trump and act like everything's fine. That like the fact that bitch, the way Michelle was like, this is not acceptable. Barry sitting right there. How the fuck Barry felt comfortable sitting next to that man when his wife literally said, it's not gonna be realistic for me? It's like, girl, and people making it seem like Barry and Michelle had an issue at Jimmy Carter's funeral or whatever was going on. And it's just like Barry is sitting next to the op bitch. Listen, as Mussolini, this is not my original thoughts. I'm sitting with like things that black folks have shared with me, especially deep dark skinned folk, and just again the ways that like when folks talk about darkness or that's dark sided, like just again, we're never using dark as a good thing usually, unless we're saying tall, dark, and handsome. But I remember there was a video on YouTube recently where somebody said like tall, dark, and white. And it was interesting because like just the ways that tall, dark, and handsome apparently didn't mean non-white person, and how like there are people who use certain words or ways of communicating and they're trying to tell us that somebody is white or they're trying to tell us that someone has dark hair or olive skin. Again, like just the ways that we're supposed to be like reading language as something flat, and then when you actually pull apart why you're saying certain things, or where they came from, or why they're said like this and not like that. Like I remember I was at this like band at this like concert, and it was a Christian death metal band, and it was funny as fuck because the lyrics were like, "Burn in heaven, do God's bidding." Again, this boy that I had a crush on brought me to this fucking concert, and it had me fucking crying because again, like they're playing music hard as fuck, but they're only shouting shit that's like uplifting seemingly. Again, it's crazy. But what I'm trying to say is like, even the idea that like you'd be burning in heaven and doing God's bidding, like just like again, like the dichotomy, like the ways that like, who would want to hear burn in heaven, But it was funny to me. Again, I don't know how I got on this tangent, but what I'm trying to offer is like saying certain words, being certain words next to other words means different things, or even just, I don't know, just the way that like people use certain words to allow us to devalue those people. Like, I'm trying to think, because I feel like there's definitely one for like me being a fat bitch. Like I feel like there's definitely some some like alliance there where I mean I feel like this was a little bit on the nose, but I feel like when the way that people say like big back, you know what I mean? As if like someone's back being big is a problem. And again, when someone's back is big, they could maybe have a hump, they could maybe have a deformity. There's a lot of things that could be a growth or a mass on someone's back. And yet, like, we know that big back means like you're fat. Like you're a fat person, your back is bigger than it should be. And again, the ways that like we put limitations on people with the words we use. No, you're right. No, you're not wrong. But even like the way that like people say like you're a light, like in our community you're a light, like that right there is like again another reminder that like being a light is good. And again, just the ways that in our society, like we are, just the way that like lighter skin and white skin is seen as normative or seen as like not worthy of saying anything, like the way that like people say fair skinned. I thought about that recently. Like somebody said something about being fair, and I was like, even that, like fair used to mean beautiful, and now we know that fair means good. Like it used to mean good or beautiful. And again, the way that it still means that, the way people still use it. And again, I'm not bringing up this combo organically. I feel like these are conversations that have been said online before. I watch a lot of TikTok, or I used to rather. I don't know what's happening now. I'm going to just stick to the YouTube that I'm used to. But I'm on Threads. I don't know. I feel like Threads feels like a long format Twitter, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad, but there's something about Twitter that just feels like chips. Like Threads feels like I'm about to go read a dissertation, and I hate that for me because I like to read. I'm like, damn Threads, like not me not reading. But yeah, no, just like the ways that these social media apps, everyone wants to delete them. Also, apparently Twitter is about to be deleted. That's unfortunate. Not saying that I fuck with Elon, but I feel like Twitter has been like the most consistent way for me to share plant medicine, that and Instagram. So I feel like Twitter being a no-go is distressing in a way because again, it's the longest place that I've been online. But with that being said, I am hoping against hope that we figure something out as a collective because I don't know, bitch. Like I feel like YouTube still hits. It still hits. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like how I want to do something different online. Like, I still want to maintain this space always, but I definitely want another YouTube space to be a little bit more dramatic because I feel like I'm learning so much about plants. And as much as I want to share here, always organically and like authentically, I kind of want a space to be a little bit more curated, just in case anybody just can't handle the long format of the live. Because again, this shit is fucking random as fuck, and I love it. Like, there's something so queer and like ADHD about this space, and something so fucking autistic about the info dumps that be happening here, and I love it. But at the same time, like, there's a part of me that's like, bitch, there's some plants out here I gotta tell y'all about. There's some plants I gotta tell y'all about right now. That's where I'm at. And I don't give a fuck what happens. Like, I just need y'all to know, like, if I can't get to Jamaica, bitch, I don't give a fuck what happens. Like, if I can't get to my fatherland, bitch, it's the way I'm about to, like, go my ancestry. Bitch, it's the way I'm going to Ancestry.com, and I'm gonna just see which of these countries gonna let me get a fucking asylum. Bitch, I'm about to try to get asylum in Jamaica, dead ass. I'm about to be like, listen, I just don't think it's gonna add up. Like, I just feel like at this, like, isn't that hilarious? We over here taking asylum away from people, and it's the way, bitch, it's the way we have millions of people here who need asylum. It's just like, you cannot make this shit up. Like, they really said, shut the country down. Girls, give a purge. Podcast with guests. I mean, maybe. It might be a variety show. I feel like I could see me doing like a bunch of like random plant stuff, but I also like the idea of me like smoking some weed or just like smoking a new product. 'Cause I think that's another thing too. It's like I really want like a bunch of things to happen. I want there to be like a space for like me to test medicine, because like I'd love to like take y'all on a trip of some new meds, because I actually just recently took a new trip of a new medicine, but I made a bunch of like little microdose ice cubes, and I don't know, like we gonna see. I'm actually gonna show you them, because who knows, somebody here might have mushrooms and might want to do something fun. And so I just took strawberries and sugar and I made a syrup. And I'm gonna just put it in the freezer because that makes sense to me. This is my big bag of medicine ice cubes. Yes, I have a condensed milk in here. Trust me, bitch, I got a plan for this. Some hot water in here. Trust me. I got 2 of them, bitch. I'm about to make me a little creamy iced tea. But yeah, they're like very sticky, so I'm gonna try to calm the fuck down. But this is what one of them looks like. There's 2 stuck to itself. This one's not so pretty. I let Dane get like my prettier one yesterday. He's been microdosing like hardcore. It's been really cool to watch because I can like literally see like the anti-depression aspect. Like, he's been having some rough time. So it's been really cool. But I literally just took like strawberries, like, and not even like, bitch, literally, I'm like a harvesting ass bitch now. Like, this is my, when I make my veggie stock, I got all my little cuts or whatever. But bitch, strawberries, when you cut strawberries, save the tops. Save the top of your strawberries. Put them in sugar. Put them in sugar in the fridge. I promise you, you will have strawberry syrup. You can do that with literally any fruit. Even the zest of a lemon and some fucking sugar. It won't make you any syrup. But you can make lemon sugar, bitch. Anyways, with that being said, yes, poetry reading indeed. But yeah, no, I feel like I definitely want to just like have psychedelic happenings. I would love to like have like a psychedelic bonfire meetup or something, but I don't know, bitch. Like, that could be kind of dangerous. But it's something I'm thinking about. Like, I really just want to find a way to do some kind of psychedelic salon a little microdose and like maybe like a soup afterwards so that people can like come back to earth. I don't know, but I've been really thinking about that because as much as I want to be a grief doula, I feel like I'm still trying to master grief for myself. And I just want to show folks what I've been doing to kind of like pull myself out of shit. And obviously, it involves drugs, but it also involves painting. It involves, talking to my plants. Like, there's all types of things that I do to like not feel like, I'm just alone in the world or I don't have the connections I need or have desired. Like, there's all types of ways that I've had to figure out a way to shift out of the energy that I was either being offered or just the energy that I just had that day. And again, I'm realizing that that there's some of us who have gone through a lot of shit, and so it's real easy to understand why people feel like who cares. I used to feel like that a lot. I used to really think who gives a fuck. I'm grateful that I'm not there anymore. But with that being said, I just want to share, like, it's not some magic pill or anything. Plant medicine has been helpful, but it's not just that. It's also being gentle with myself and, like, learning how to be kind to myself. And those are things that some of us didn't get to be taught. Some of us really have never um, had elders be kind to us. And so when we're trying to be kind to ourselves, it's like, this is fake. Who says these nice things about us? And so, again, if I can leave you with something to maybe try, maybe put some kind words on the mirror. You don't have to do anything too crazy, but even when it's like really steamy in there, just writing that you like yourself or that like you look cute today, just little kind things because again, they do add up. And unfortunately, like your parents didn't think like that. Like they didn't think about how like, working towards like, showing you love, like actively putting love into you, that would add up over time. Like some of us just didn't get that kind of care. And so we've got to like put that shit in us on our own. And I know it's not easy. I don't think that it's easy, but I know that uh saying it to you means that like I'm gonna say it to myself again later. And maybe you'll tell yourself in a week, like, hey, that was a great job on that, that pot roast you made, or hey, that was a really cool thing that you painted the other day, or hey, when you reached out to your aunt, it was such a lovely, tender moment that you two shared. Let's journal about it. Let's make sure it's a memory that we get to save. Like that's what I'm trying to offer is like please try to like flood yourself with as much kindness as possible because it is going to feel rather distressing moving forward in this life. And we don't know what our time frames are. We don't know how long we're even going to be here. How silly, right? And so because of that, with all the time that you have left, bitch, until you go to bed, like just be fucking nice to yourself, please, 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 because I'm telling you, it is the only way that I know how to survive. And I'm trying to offer that to you because being kind to myself has allowed me to really just mentally make it through and navigate in a way that if I was still beating my own ass like I was taught how, I don't know, bitch. I'm glad I don't have to think about it though. Like that's the best part. I don't have to think about it because I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm not beating my own ass. Fuck that. I've caught enough ass whoopings already. Like I got no hands when it comes to me, bitch. Hands down. Bitch, honestly, like just fuck around, give yourself a little neck massage, just squeeze your little neck. Ooh, Ultra said they be hugging on their belly, bitch. A belly hug. Ooh, bitch. It's doing my hands are getting a little hug. Mm-hmm. Again, it's the little fucking things, bitch. India Ari. It's the little things. Anyways, I love y'all. Yes. Oh, notes on your phone calendar. 1, 2, 3, Marie. Because I needed that one. Because I keep out opening up that fucking calendar app and I don't be doing shit with it. Thank you, for real. But yeah, no, I appreciate y'all for being here. I still didn't get my new internet set up, so this is the last time we're gonna hang out with like my old internet, and we'll see if there's a fucking difference, bitch. Pray for me, bitch, because if not, they scammed me, bitch. They got me. Anyways, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Also this week, the shipping got fucked up because of the polar vortex. We did not do a ship on Monday, so the ship today. There's a ship on Wednesday, and there's a ship on Saturday. So just putting that out there for anybody who cares or who missed the menu this week. The menu's in the Instagram story. And yeah, just thank y'all for hanging out. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for listening to me talk. It has added up materially. It has definitely, I felt poured into. And so I just want to say thank you, and just thank you for allowing me to be grateful. Like in the midst of everything, it can be really healing to know that you have more. Again, bowl of oranges, bright eyes. I'm telling you, the last verse I dedicate to y'all, bitch. Anyways, I love y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.